One.
It's because you're doing everything.
Oh, this looks like poop. Well, bam. Well, bam. Good enough. Good enough. I'll move that over. Sorry, it's my first time.
Hello.
You be on top.
Why does that have a blue outline? Okay. Hello, everyone. I don't know how this is going to look or sound, but we are live for the first ever Slowest Fast RC podcast. We got the whole gang involved. Taylor, Mike, and Davie joined us in the actual woodshed. Going to be a great time.
Like 2 minutes ago.
Going to be lots of fun. We are just going to go ahead and roll with the disclaimer.
Disclaimer. You're about to listen/watch a podcast hosted by a group of friends who tend to use vulgar language and profanity, and also enjoy pounding adult beverages. Viewer discretion is advised. Lastly, we may be making some bold statements. All views and statements made in this podcast do not reflect the views of any sponsors, guests, followers, or any supporters of this podcast. So be cool and don't get offended. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy.
Oh my gosh!
All right, and we're back with our first sound issue of ever going live, it seems. We will work on that. Taylor, would you like to go ahead and start us off on something?
Do we want to talk about results from Trains and Lanes today? Local events.
I would love to.
So Trains and Lanes had their first season opener today. If we want to go over quick results of some of the big classes, 8 scale Nitro Buggy took first is Brian Cruz, second Tim Powers, 3 Jack Mulligan, 4 Corey Williams, and 5 Ben White. Hold on. E-Truck, which is a pretty big class there. First place, Aiden Machanda, Chase Gabini, John Burwa, Kane Metzger, then Mike Malone. Mike's fan of the podcast, we see.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably on his way back home, I'd assume, right now. Then let's go to E-Buggy. First place, Colin Morse. Congrats, Colin. Second place, Aiden Machanda. Third place, Blaze Malinowski. Fourth, Block Garris. Fifth, Dream Kip. And I'll keep going because we know most all these guys. Sixth place is George from the Northeast Racers podcast. Seventh, Gary Terry. Eighth place, Alan Placer. 9 is Jason Massey. 10, Jack Mulligan. 11, Mike Malone. Kane Metzger. Then 13th, David Longacre. So glad that they got the race finished. They definitely ran through a little bit of weather.
Yeah, I know the weather was really pushing
Yeah,
them,
hope
but
everyone had a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations
And
to all the placers and everything.
this coming weekend, what's that going to be, Alex?
Taylor and Alex gets drunk at the strip club.
Or I kick your ass at short course.
That ain't gonna happen. We both
at
know
the
that.
WOCRC
That ain't-
season
Ain't gonna
opener
happen. He
And one of the
wishes it
things
would
I have in my
happen. It'll
notes
never
here, man,
happen.
is
It never happened.
I got to pull my notes up, but I know one of the things I have is what do we have as far as a bet goes in
Ooh.
short course.
Ooh, what is the bet?
I owe you a case of beer already,
Yeah,
so
case of beer is easy.
yeah.
Let us know in the comments what should be Taylor's and I's side bet for who beats who in short course.
Mike, you're not involved in this because you're too good.
He's not even
There's
racing
a-
short course anymore.
I'm not
He's
running short
retired.
course anyway.
Oh, really? Oh man, I was hoping that we were gonna run together.
Oh, Uncle Mike.
He's retired.
Yeah, come on.
Just this year. I want to do Buggy and Truggy.
Womp womp.
Okay.
So
Shout out to another upcoming event is Tom Petrella's track, same day, Saturday, April 12th at Rhythm Raceway. So looking forward to that.
Putting in my hearing aid so I
Wow.
can hear the stream off my phone.
Okay.
Technology. So rhythm is the same day as WO, right? You just said
Yes,
that.
that's correct.
Yeah. I really want
I
to
don't
make
think
it out there
we'll be
at some point.
competing too much.
No, we're
with each
fucking
other
6
because
hours away.
Rhythms and Jersey.
Yeah, I don't think that's a competition at all. No, well, 6 hours, it's enough to not know that one exists
Yeah.
if you're not trying.
Really don't think I knew it existed till like a few months ago.
I didn't think I knew it existed until about a few moments ago.
Yeah. There's 4 different type of TikTok dancers apparently. Okay.
Answers?
Number 1 is... Oh, we're not watching it? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anywho's.
What else you got? I can't have all the subjects. I got
Yes,
more.
you can.
I
You
mean,
can do.
You're holding that up. Come on.
You can do all the
Mr.
legwork.
Prepared.
I'm also trying to read the comments too, just so I don't
Yeah.
miss anything.
We can't have them
Do you
on
want
this
something
screen
else to
over
do?
here or something?
Huh?
You can't have those on this screen here. We
No,
can't be reading
yeah.
them.
We need to watch sound on this one.
I mean, you can't like.
So, did we even welcome everybody to join in the live stream?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Blah blah
There-
blah.
There is
Yeah.
currently. Gavin wants to
We are
join.
currently crashing and burning. That's what's happening.
Let's drag our guest in here. How about that?
There's a guest.
he's not in the Discord.
Oh,
He's not
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't
chat.
even see his name
Oh
in
no,
the waiting
Gary's
room or
here.
anything.
Hold on. Hold on. All right, Gary has the permissions. Now
Okay.
Gary just needs to join the waiting room, and I can drag you in, Gary.
How many people are in the comments?
2. One of
Two.
them's Taylor.
One of them's Taylor.
Oh, Lonzo's watching.
Oh.
Shane Laux,
Shane Laux. Hello,
Lauren.
Shane.
Ezra. Hey, Shane. Thanks for watching.
Well,
Thanks for
people in the
joining us.
comments, should I drink the red slushy or the blue slushy so we can get this going? I can't decide.
You
Very-
take both. It's like the Matrix. You take both pills.
Oh, jeez. We'll pour half of them out into your cup, and then I'll pour half. We could do that. We could mix drinks. All right, bring over your cup. Now I'm hearing like 9 voices in my head.
I believe Gary V.
Oh,
is
who
on
are we?
here.
Oh, no, boo, boo. Who are we bringing in? You didn't tell me this. God
Boo,
damn
Gary
it,
V.
boo.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorta.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Are you under your pillows?
Okay.
Or are you under your mattress or something? What are you? At least that's what it sounds like
No.
in my head. Bring your cup over here.
Are you? Do you have a camera? Let's see your beautiful face.
Yeah, Gavin, do you know that your camera's shut off right now?
Yeah, I'm a little busy.
Yeah.
We'll finish the video and choke it off and join us.
I'm just working on my car.
Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't I?
Oh, everyone moved now.
Oh.
What a conundrum.
I'm working on this.
Ah, touring cars.
What one is that? Is that a carpet car?
Touring cars.
Yeah,
There we
touring
go.
car.
Well, for the listeners that don't know Gavin, this is Gavin Vucina. He is our local X-ray king. People at LCRC should know. Oh, jeez, that's purple.
It said take both at once. So.
People at LCRC should know who Gavin is. He's a frequent flyer out there. Did very well at Motorama in the pro class. Gavin, you have anything to say to the? We have 10 viewers. Holy shit, we're wasting 10 people's time right now. Hi, Landon. Landon
He's
said
at least
hi.
doing something, wrenching on a
Landon-
car. What the hell are we doing?
I had two shims fall out of somewhere. I don't know where they came from. So
Well, welcome to touring cars.
How many more Eclipse have you lost?
I'm just gonna put them in the pile and I'll figure it out later.
Gavin, tell the listeners, why do we call you Gary V? I have no idea either.
Oh, really?
I just
Okay.
followed Alex's lead on that.
I just say boo.
So it's like really funny. This was like,
Thought it was Gavelina.
oh god, it's 2 years now at LCRC. It was the first race that it was the Northeast Showdown at LCRC, and it was the first time I was there when Ed was announcing, and it was like the first or second qualifier of e-buggy. No, I think it was the first, and I was like on a really good run, but apparently some dude named Gary was winning, and I was getting really mad. I'm like, who the heck is Gary, and how is he like going faster than me right now? Because I mean, I was putting down a burner, and then
How's this going?
after the race is done, he's like, Gary taking the win, and I was like freaking out. I'm like, who the heck's Gary? And then I looked at the thing, and it was mine. It was actually me. And then Rose Kothman kind of just started calling me Gary since then, and everyone else started calling me Gary.
I mean, I
so,
would.
That is your name.
Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. So,
Time to
yeah.
Dog has joined the podcast.
Ooh. That's gonna come in later.
It's gonna come out later.
If I'm not careful. So
do
he's got us on one side of the screen and her base set up on the other side of the screen, right? He should have came to 360 with us. He's getting that ready for the NYGP, right? When the hell is that?
October or something.
Ah,
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I
he's
don't
the
even
guest
know.
and
I'm
he ain't
just
even paying
rebuilding
attention.
it. I need to make
Gavin's
sure.
like JQ trying to be on the podcast and wrench at the same time. We're like Lefty just yelling at him like,
using a
"Stop the
Dremel.
wrenching."
Yeah, using a Dremel.
sitting at my desk. I'm gonna be sitting at my desk. I'm at least gonna be productive.
So what's that say
Talking to
about
us
us?
isn't productive
Exactly.
anymore.
Productive. I can do both.
Fucking.
Must be nice.
Gavin, how long have you been racing RC cars?
I think since I was in like 3rd grade. So a
And
while.
you're in 10th now, is it?
I graduated 2 years ago.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
I fell for it.
Gavin used to
I was
whoop
about
up
to say,
on
what's
us at our local indoor track, Kicking Dirt Raceway. That's when I first met Gavin when he was up to my knees.
He's kicking dirt.
Yeah.
I missed that so much.
It was
Gavin,
like
for the people that don't know you too, tell us what car you run, what brand you run for, all that.
X-Grade,
See, he's got.
the luxury brand.
What's
Don't
your
seem
favorite
so
class,
excited
Gary?
about that either.
Either 2-wheel drive or touring car.
We're looking at him giggling.
Oh, not even
tourism.
buggy. Come on, man.
I don't know. I like 10th scale better.
What's your favorite event then, Gavin?
I would say Masters of Dirt, but BHRC just closed.
R.I.P.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's kind of sad. Probably Clash at Hoosier then,
Yeah.
because we can do the slash enduro. That's fun.
that's something
You
I
guys
want
had
to
a pretty
figure
good
out.
team
There
there
we
on the
go.
Splash Enduro race last year.
Yeah, it wasn't a very eventful race. We kind of just checked out.
Yeah.
Me, Hunter, and Nate. It wasn't very close because we actually tried. Everyone else just drove the car. I don't know.
Were you allowed
Gavin,
to
do you have an arch nemesis in racing? Like, say, Matt Willard and Tom Petrella are kind of like nemesis, and
Well,
who's your
Williard's
nemesis
more
in
like a
racing?
nuisance than a nemesis, so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't really think I do. Yeah, I don't think
Just
so.
all peace and love. He loves everybody.
No.
He doesn't hate.
I kind of just drive my car around the track and
a
go.
lot of times you're kind of on pace with the other Gavin, say Gibbler sometimes, and
Yeah, he's definitely more outright fast than I am. It's like at least with 8 scale, just
Mhm.
because he's been doing 8 scale a lot longer than I have. Yeah, he's definitely a faster driver, 8 scale wise. But he's starting to race more and like get more into it. So he's only gonna get faster. Hey, what the heck is this?
It's separated.
Now, what are you
Sorry.
going to do to try
Well,
and
it's
kick
just
his
not
butt?
separating. It's just not mixing.
I don't know. I'll just run VRC maybe. I don't know.
The touring car part of that
My
should
my
be
driving
good.
scale is not really made. Like I don't even drive an 8 scale buggy like an 8 scale, and Chicky makes fun of me for it.
You drive it more like a 10 scale?
I drive it like a 2-wheel drive buggy. Like anytime he's there at the track and he's watching me, he makes fun of how I drive because I never hit the throttle. Ever.
You rely upon more corner speed and things like that?
I just try to like limit wheel spin. That way, because
Sounds
like you can
smart to
yank the
me,
throttle, and you're not actually moving anywhere. You're just burning up your tires and wasting battery. So, just I don't know. I could probably go faster if I hit the gas more, but then I'll probably make mistakes. So that's why I try to just drive consistent and not push too much.
Gavin, are you going to be at the WO opener next weekend?
I'm gonna try. Hopefully, it's not the R word.
Don't say it. I haven't even looked.
It's not looking too good. It's this whole week, even now, it's pouring. So, and it's gonna be cold. It's not even gonna be warm. It's gonna be freezing.
I mean, what I'm looking at, it looks fine. It
Maybe
changed
it
3
changed.
times in the last 2 days. So
That's the attitude we
sounds
need to hear.
about
Thank
right.
you, Mike.
yes, like Saturday for me right now is just partly cloudy.
It's gonna be sunshine and rainbows.
And lollipops everywhere.
Of course.
So my oh, hold on. Why is this? My phone says it's a 70% chance of rain on Saturday.
Your phone is wrong.
I hope it is. It's gonna rain Friday or
I hope it
Thursday, a little bit Friday. Well, Saturday it's only like a small, like 70% at like 1. But
Well, here's the good thing about your opinion, Gary, is it doesn't fucking matter because I'm the one in charge of it.
yes, sir.
Read it. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, Mike says.
Here's a question
Mike says
for ya,
0%
Gary.
chance on Saturday.
Out of the comments, can you cut James Daughtry's grass?
Daughtry.
No.
Daughtry. Nailed it.
I'm not driving an hour to cut his grass. I mean, I know he can't walk, but
He's,
I guess
he
I'll have to
broke
have
his
him
ankle or something.
Oh, what the hell
Just
is
have
what's
to
he doing?
Walking.
get on his wheelchair.
Got a riding mower. I guess he could do it himself.
Can I ask a personal question, Gavin?
Yeah, he does need to get one of those
Gavin, can you cross your arms for
Sorry.
us?
texts.
Gavin.
Mike, you see that Alex is cutting out pretty bad.
What?
Yeah, he's starting to freeze.
It's like
That's
we're
good.
in like
Yeah.
per second.
His internet's
It's like
like
we're
shit
in
now.
1999
I
with
think.
this webcam over here.
What?
This is bad.
It keeps freezing on funny parts for him.
Good night, everybody.
Gavin, can you cross your arms?
I can't hear a word that they're saying.
Yeah,
It's like
And
Walmart
then
Wi-Fi.
the stream is skipping. I can see it.
Is it gonna skip for everybody that's watching because he's the one hosting it?
He's the host of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Next time we do this, Mike, should you be the host of it instead?
I could be.
I'll
If you're gonna be live with us.
Mm-hmm.
That way
Hang
keep
on.
steady.
Also-
Oh, there we
There,
go.
now you
There's
can
the
see
money.
what I'm
You got
doing.
it. Yeah. All the goodness.
That's a much better camera angle.
That is.
Yeah, I
that's a
kind of
like
much
that.
better camera angle.
Can you see the? No, I have
What the hell?
world's warm up on my.
There's a thumbs up.
Flex the bicep there, Gavin. Like I feel like that's all about the angle.
Oh,
There's not
well,
much there.
Is PNB over in the other room?
So do we want to talk about the big race that's
There's
going on
PNB
right now?
with us.
Anyone?
Good or bad?
See, I turned off PNB
It's
to
not
watch
good.
this 10 scale race in Australia.
Who do you have to
Go to
win
Elon
the
officially.
10 scale worlds.
Go.
I don't know. It's a good question. I'd like to root
Who's-
for an X-ray guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the big X-ray drivers gonna be over there?
Chase, Dakota, Tater, some Europeans. I don't know. There's gonna be everybody there, so it's gonna be interesting. Chase would win. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Aw.
Alex's internet's horrible.
That's the thing though, is I'm looking at I'm logged into his computer. I'm in his computer. He's not dropping frames.
Hmm.
And it's not saying disconnecting or anything. It's weird.
Yeah, you should figure something. Do something. Get your two-wheel drive ready, Dave. Alex is quieting.
The ball.
Jim says it's streaming fine except for Alex.
Can
So,
y'all hear
that's
me
good.
now?
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I got you.
Hey.
Clear? Is
Try
my
it again, Alex.
hello?
it's better.
It's better.
I didn't
Better.
do shit. Did you check your phone, Taylor?
I did. No, I
Yeah.
did. I was playing with OBS.
Oh,
Mike's
doing the mic thing.
I stopped the recording. Yeah, so you're not recording this anymore.
it says we're paused, but we're still
Yes.
streaming, right?
Correct.
Okay, so everyone else is watching the train wreck, but the train wreck will not be posted to the YouTubes.
Oh, that's the first question I want to ask.
You're still unplugged.
Well, you're the one who unplugged me.
Oh.
Well,
So
You
yeah,
see me
of course
aiming
that you're
right
working
here on
on
my
it.
bench because I missed.
well, I was put in timeout apparently.
Well, this is a shit show.
Gavin, what car are you working on?
Don't look at us like it's suspicious, like it's a Schumacher or
Gavin,
something. What
can
the
you hear
fuck
us?
was that? Did you see
Yeah.
his eyes go? Whoa.
Try again, Mike.
Gavin, what car are you working on?
A touring car. X4.
Which one? Okay.
Well, obviously it's an X-ray.
Well, we know that.
An X4
Sure.
25.
Okay, you're 21.5. Do you ever plan on doing mod?
No,
just doing
because
stock?
I mean I would like to, but nobody in our area runs it.
That's true. I know Alex right now is trying to get people to run mod. I mean, I personally don't want to, but I will, but I don't
yeah.
want to.
Just so you know, Alex, a 21.5 is really fast still.
Gavin, where's your dad at? Shane's asking.
They're at a concert tonight, and I wasn't invited, but I also don't want to go. So
What concert?
it's called Eagle Mania. It's like a tribute band or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Give me 1 second. I'll be back.
All right, I'm gonna pull.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull Jim in too, real quick.
Okay. Good.
Mr. Lonzo.
Lonzo's here now.
Oh, happy Jim. I thought you said he was
Oh, he
already
left.
here.
Goodbye,
And he
Lonzo.
Oh, goodbye.
Hello.
Jim, can you hear us?
Oh, like he's
Jim?
here. Oh, snap. Got Uncle Mike and Pappy Jim in the house.
Jim.
Oh. Yeah, this is gonna.
Jim, can you hear us now?
Hear you.
I'm
There
back.
you go. You have to turn your webcam back on.
Mine?
No, Jim's.
Oh.
He's supposed to
can
be
hear
here,
you.
isn't
We can hear you.
The point is, when the hell were we able to go live now? I thought we had enough people.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, look at
I
us
tell you
go.
what.
Look at you go.
Are we not live?
No,
Yeah,
we
we're
are.
live.
Oh, figured.
We're just watching you
Ah,
clean your.
geez, our
Hi,
screen-
Jim.
touring
Our
car.
screen just cracked. Oh no.
Hi, everybody.
I don't know if
Thank you
anyone
enough
can
in the
hear me,
bed.
but
We can hear you.
Gavin, what
Okay.
pit board is that?
The promotion one.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it's really good. I
Hi,
use
guys.
the
Hi,
thick
Jim.
hoodie one though for on road because this one flexes a bit if the table's not flat, and then your setup station doesn't work right. Has to be like perfectly flat.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Better.
Jim, how's it going? Thanks for joining
No.
us.
It's going good, Taylor.
Well, obviously better.
yeah,
than
thanks for
us.
joining us, Pappy Jim. Missed ya.
Yeah. You guys have been throwing tires, screwing off, not part of the podcast. I mean, I'm watching and I'm laughing.
So this is like, I don't know if you heard, but a train wrecked in Somerset. It hit a coal truck, and like right now, my internet's the train, and Davie and I are the coal truck. So we're just taking it. And
Well,
yeah.
that's good.
So we're having all the rest of the team carry our asses.
Well, that's normally how it works. We got to do that at the races too. I mean,
This is true.
especially like with
This is
you, Alex, in short course, we got to carry them around. You know?
we have to tie our front end to the back end of the slash so the slash can drag us around.
Oh, you do. I don't know.
Right, right. That's it.
Jim, you gonna be racing short course at WO next weekend?
I will not be at WO next weekend.
Oh no.
Oh
I got a
no.
family trip planned away, so
Forced family fun.
no. This is a good family fun.
Ah, planned family fun. Good family.
Yeah, it's all the guys. The women are staying home.
Oh,
That's what makes
there
it
you go.
good.
That's what makes it good.
Right.
Where are you
gonna
going? Is it somewhere cool?
Yeah, we go away on an annual fishing trip every year.
I hope he said
Oh, yeah.
fishing trip. Because it cut out. It sounded like he's. Carry on.
What's gonna be the next event then for you, Jim?
Be the following weekend, I believe. It's what is it? 412 is their following event, and then it'll be the
Better.
opener after that.
Good deal.
So I was, obviously switching tire manufacturers this year. I was going through tires all day, and I have 93 sets between Truggy and Buggy of J Concepts and AKA
Of
and
useless
Proline
tires
and,
now. Absolutely useless
you
tires.
know,
Doesn't matter what they
when
are.
I say
Useless.
sets, I mean sets of 4. So
Wow.
I have a lot of tires.
So
I-
who'd you switch to for manufacturer then, Jim?
Promotion.
So what you're saying is it's pretty much you're giving everybody your old free tires, right?
I wish it
Part of
was
the
that
rock.
easy, but I gotta sell them, okay? I
Yeah,
mean, if
I don't
somebody
blame
really
ya.
needed them, I would hook them up,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a couple guys reach out to me for some of the tires that I have, and I got to take some pictures and send them to them. But I was going through the bins, and I said, "You have collected entirely too much, entirely too much." So
That FOMO we was talking
Well-
about. FOMO. Gotta have the tire.
What do you mean by FOMO? Like fear of missing out?
Yeah,
For tires?
tire FOMO, yeah.
Whenever a new tire comes out, and you read the description, you think you have to have it, you have to try it, so you
Yeah.
probably buy that tire in every single compound.
See, I'm beating Mike's thing, and I'm only doing 2 tires this year.
The Uncle Mike 3-tire rule.
Yeah, there you go. See? Look at us. We're all gonna try
What
and
2
be
tires,
smart.
Gavin?
Just a Raptor and Havoc. That's it.
What's the Raptor
I
and
mean,
Havoc
that's-
in like a J Concepts style?
Like a reflex and a double bar, I would say, roughly.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna have a Phantom or relapse tire. because every time I run that style tire, I don't know. I don't like it as much as even a Raptor. Even when it's like black groove at LCRC, a Raptor's still a little better in my opinion. Just has so much forward bite.
See, that's how I
So-
feel about the relapse when it's like Black Groove at LCRC. Like, but also the relapse in JCon is a little bit wider of a diameter.
Yeah, well, the
yeah.
Phantom is so tall that it just gets a little inconsistent for me. So that's why I stick to like a Raptor and a Havoc. They're just a little lower profile. It's just, I don't know, easier for me to drive and more consistent for at least longer mains.
So
Yeah, see-
Gavin,
Go ahead.
have you checked the actual clock to see if it's faster? Like, in your runs, like really,
if I-
what's the time?
I'm kind of at the point now where I can, like, if a tire that feels good for me is fast. So, like, it's not really like I'm gonna run a tire that's safe. I'd pick you. I don't really usually I used to put like say AKA impacts on a car to put like a safe clean run on, but now I've gotten like good enough at driving to where I don't have to worry about the tire being said like bigger lug or safer. I kind of
Just go
I've
straight
gotten
to
to
the
the point where I can
faster tire.
I can drive a faster tire more consistently now, so it doesn't make sense for me to drive a tire that would be more consistent unless the track is absolutely obliterated to the point where nobody can do 5 minutes. If
Right.
that makes
I guess my question to you is, we make changes on our cars a lot, and we change tires, and we do a couple different things. And like I was testing with tires, we were down at Mimi's a couple weeks ago, and I had the promotion slicks. I still had silver smoothies, and then TZO came out with the slick for this year. So we
uh,
were doing comparisons just to see what the clock says, because the clock usually doesn't lie if you do it back to back. And the promotions were probably the fastest tire for me. And then I got to say, the the guys that were running the TZOs were a tick faster, and the J Cons were right there also. So, but the clock doesn't lie. When there was guys there that aren't obviously on a team, and they were trying different stuff, and we were checking the clock, like and some of the guys were turning a tenth faster per lap just with tire change, and they felt that the car was slower, but their times were faster. So that's what I meant when I asked you that. Have you ever really checked the clock back to back on the tires that you may not like?
oh yeah. Um, I know for me, like even like going to 8 scale, like a Raptor is always faster for me than a Phantom by like a significant amount.
All right.
Uh, that's just for, and then a Havoc's on actually even faster, but you can't usually get away with a Havoc when it's dusty, so that's typically just when I'll run a Raptor. Um, and like going to like 10 scale for like for when I since I've been on promotion for almost a year now, like 10 scale races, we only had the clay slicks. Now we have the new compound. I don't know if you saw that, the double dot now,
Right.
and that I ran that like when was that? That was in like January or first week of February. Um, and they're softer than like the current like normal compound, but they're softer. They make more grip on like lower traction tracks, so they'd probably be better at Mimi's.
Now we're
I know making
considered
tracks
Mimi's.
for me, they were better at making tracks for me personally. Um, but what was even better at making was the T3 ground like bar tires ground down to slicks, and I compared those to Aqua smoothies and S3s, and they were actually better than both of those by like a couple tenths per lap. Surprisingly,
Well,
because those are the two tires that everybody runs up at Macon.
At Macon, I've
Okay.
always liked the M4 Pro Line stuff. And I don't use a lot of sauce either, so I just like to break them in. I know Treyharns, they're like in the A2 with sauce broken in.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I tried the Aquas, and they're really good up there. But the T3s were actually like I was surprised that they were better, at least for me. And S3 usually use like the staple up there. That's basically what everybody ran for years.
Yep.
And I gave the S3s like 3 chances. Like I burned sauce into them like every time I ran them, and I still had nowhere near as much grip. Like they had grip, but it wasn't as much as I had, and it wasn't consistent to either.
The thing
wa-
at Macon, though, and it's not a strike against them, is the track's always inconsistent because they
It
do
is.
way too much water, in my opinion. I'm sorry,
They've
but
gotten it.
they
They've
just do.
gotten a better way of doing everything now.
Mhm.
At least since I was there last, like a little over a month and a half ago. They'll like broom it once a round. Like they'll just run a broom around it to pick up the marbles, and then they'll blow them off. And then when they water it track stays really consistent for like the whole round now. It doesn't really get. At least I didn't notice it had loose spots when I was there last time.
That's good.
So they've figured it out now, which is good.
Sounds like what we were
Before it
doing at
was-
Kicking Dirt back in the day.
Yeah. But
Go into the-
Kicking Dirt,
Go ahead.
it was like a water once a round thing. They missed it after every heat.
Oh,
So-
okay. Oh.
I think one of the biggest things for Macon, and believe me, I love the place and they do a great job there.
Yep.
Is it is so cold sometimes, and it is
Mhm.
so hard to regenerate the heat into, that building.
That'll
And
do it.
having the track so close to the outside walls, that bleeds in. I mean, if you ever take a temp gun to, a building that has a concrete floor and come into the middle, it's always warmer. So that makes a giant difference. And for them, they would have to burn heat all the time, and it would be no way would it be cost effective for them to try to keep that place heated.
Absolutely. Yeah. You put your hand on the surface temp, even just after they put a little water or something on it, boy, it's cold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go to the comments, give a couple shout outs. I see Gary Terry,
these are for
Ada
Gavin.
Manchanda, Alan, Colin, all you guys, congrats.
I
Looks
see
like you
Jared.
guys had a good time
Hello,
at
Jared is
everyone.
watching plenty of times.
Trains and Lanes. And then Braden, what's up?
Braden's getting
This
that
Jared as
Jado
well.
dialed.
Yeah.
If anyone has him on Facebook, he's been putting in mad work getting that Jado dialed. Jim, if you get a Jado,
Yeah, absolutely. I've been watching his
he's going to
videos.
give you a run for his money.
Sounds like somebody needs to get it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Kevin's in the comments too.
Oh, no. I know how Kevin felt Wednesday now. I was ready to wake Toby up.
Kevin,
and
the
be like,
beginning
"Toby,
was
fix
a
everything."
train wreck, a lot worse. And we don't have a Toby or a Krista for IT support.
We have Mike for IT support, and he was able to resolve the issues and
You have me
decide the
remoted
problem.
into Alex's computer,
Yes.
fixing them.
It has been found out for the followers that my computer is just a measly, like, laptop. It's, like, nice if your kid's going to college and it's their freshman year. It's, like, a nice laptop. Yeah, but right now, doing all this streaming shit, it's, like,
I'll be back.
running 200 degrees, you know? Like, it just... It's tapped out, and we found out its limit, and apparently its limit is recording and streaming at the same time. So now we're just streaming.
Take
We aren't
all your
recording
40
this.
millimeter RC fans and just start blowing them on the computer.
Yeah,
to cool
right.
down a little bit.
Yeah,
For all the technical people out there, it's because it doesn't have an onboard graphics card, so it's not doing all the encoding in 2 different places. It's doing it in one. So the CPU was pinned.
yeah, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But I do want to give a shout out to
Intel
Mike.
Iris Graphics. Look, there's a little
Yeah.
sticker on it.
I want to give a shout out to Mike for being able to help with that. And Mike has been kicking ass. He did all the graphic designing part. He's been helping with graphic designs for WCRC.
I like how his name now says Taylor DeLosa.
Oh yeah, it changed now
So-
ever since Gary went away.
Hey, but we're still us. Yay, so.
But yeah, thank you so much, Mike, for doing everything you do, and Taylor, thank you so much for carrying the
For literally carrying this
podcast
podcast.
as we were trying to figure out the issue. We couldn't do any of this without you guys, and I want to make sure everyone understands that this is a whole village trying to make this train wreck stay on the tracks.
I'm back.
Do we want to talk about the big race going on right now?
Yes.
Which
You guys
one?
watching
Because
it?
he's got one behind him, and is the other one that's here today
The
over
one that
already?
matters. The one in
Yeah,
Tennessee.
the one that matters. 8 scale
Okay.
outdoors.
Yeah, A-scale outdoors. He's funny.
Yeah.
Jim, are you watching PMB right now or no?
Because it's indoors.
I am not at the moment. No.
He said outdoors, but it's indoors.
Good news, my chassis is not bent.
What did you do? Hit
That
a,
is good.
obviously
Thanks.
hit the wall
Do
pretty
you guys
good.
have any predictions for
I-
who's going to win PMB Nitro Buggy?
I think Brandon Rose might pull it off. Now Mayfield did show like his veteran presence, of course, there in Q2, but I think it's gonna come down between them two come tomorrow. Honestly, I'm very excited to
Somebody
watch that
fill
battle.
me in. Who's got it pulled up in front of him?
I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up somewhere.
Canas will definitely be in the top 3. He has to be.
Yeah.
Who's that? Gavin?
Juan Carlos Canas.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
So-
Hey, look, it's Lutz.
Oh,
For-
that's the wrong button.
For me, it's not being techno biased, but it's really it's always hard to bet against Mayfield.
Uh-huh.
I agree.
When
Oh
he's-
yeah, for sure.
When he's qualifying well, it's hard to bet against Mayfield.
You know what's the unstoppable force, though, is when Mayfield ran from Mugen. I'm sorry.
So right now we have for the stream's watching
Cole Ogden is running.
the standings of the Q2 rankings. I guess I can do overall rankings, but I got the live RC pulled up on the
Hey,
stream.
look,
I agree,
Schreffler,
James.
Chicky.
Good win
We
for
know
Pro
those
E-Buggy.
names.
So yeah, we got Brandon Rose Mayfield sitting TQ with his Q2.
Huh.
Brandon Rose
You know,
second.
Brandon Rose carrying the AE team here
Yeah.
since half of it's over in the Australia and half of it left
Running
for
Sparko,
Sparko.
yeah.
So
Lutz in P3. Juan Carlos Canas in
In
P4.
four.
I love seeing the foreigners work their way up at the American events. Spencer Heckart in the 5 spot. Mason Fuller 6. Jonah Wilson 7th. Seth Van Dalen in the 8th. Wiggins 9th. And Adam Drake is going to round out your top 10. That's where Pro Nitro Buggy is sitting right now. Very fun.
are they still running?
You know, think about this. You got Mayfield and Drake in the top 10, right? Probably the 2 oldest guys running in that circuit.
And
Easily.
then Badier
Now-
is 11th, wasn't he? So he's up there too.
Who's that?
Robert Batier, wasn't he 11th? Wasn't he just like right behind Drake?
I don't know. I didn't see because he only called out the top 10. But
Right.
what I'm saying
I
is,
was talking to him.
you know, I'm paying attention, Davey. It's okay.
At least somebody is.
What? Yeah, thanks. We'll keep you going. Taylor had to go to the bathroom, so I had to keep Davey in check. It's okay. You all right?
Meanwhile, he's sitting in the room with me. He can't help me for shit.
Right. But you cannot beat the racecraft. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the interview with what was it on the No Name podcast
With Mayfield.
With Mayfield, and then
They've been there
what the
before.
hell's his name? JQ. And JQ said it best. He said there's a lot of young drivers that have the skill, and they're probably overall faster, and will throw down some heater laps and do stuff. But the racecraft that Mayfield and
Yeah.
Drake have from all the years,
I'm doing it
They
from
can
as
read
long as
track
the
better.
kids have been alive.
right? But they can read the track better. They can read the car better. They have done so much and know so much that they can apply it quicker then, the younger guys maybe don't have that experience. And that goes a long way. I mean, it truly does.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And like even on the local scene, I see that whether we're at WO, LCRC, 412, wherever you may be. And I mean, I can even like not saying I have racecraft or I'm a veteran by any means, let me preface, but like I can definitely see things that in the past 9 or 10 years of racing, I'll see this, but then this younger guy that's way faster than me might not recognize how he's taken this line in a not fast way compared to what he could be doing because you can recognize that person can handle that, but that person doesn't have the experience to know they can do it. And then Jim, I'm sure you have great experience being in that veteran presence boat because you've been doing this since the War of 1812 and whatnot. So you've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we
I'll
got
smack him
got
for
the
you when I see him
t-shirt
next
and
weekend, Jim.
It's okay. They call me Pappy J because I've been around so long. I'm older than some of the dirt at the track. Okay?
Yes.
Hey, Jim, give us some history. How long have you been racing RC cars? All that.
Well, I'm 55 and I started when I was 12. So, a long time.
I ain't
Race
doing that
craft.
math.
I did take, I took I think it's 43 years or something like that. I took a hiatus when my daughter was born. And, I still dabbled a little bit, but I kept into the scene. And then when my son turned 6, my nephews bought him a T-Max. Well, about 3 engines later, it was getting close to winter and the Slash had just come out. So my in-laws bought him a Slash and it was winter time. And we ended up at a place called the Mushroom Farm in Latrobe, Pennsylvania on a Friday night to watch racing. And I've been back at it ever since. And that was 20, I guess, 5, 6, almost 27 years ago. So I haven't missed a beat in the past 27. So it's been a while, I've watched all these guys. Gavin, when he was about 6, I think he still was wearing kids pull up, maybe. And Mike, he was young, very young, maybe a couple pounds lighter. Davie's hair was never that long, okay? And Alex was young too. So I've had all of them under my thumb for a couple of years now, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor, Jim's definitely watched all of us grow up in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of special when you think about it.
Yeah,
And
when
it
you
is-
take a step back.
It's
that's
really
like,
special when you
"Aw,
think
how
about the
cute."
community, how a lot of local tracks and clubs can say the same thing with some older veterans. And but yeah, he's Pappy Jim. So
Jim, what's your favorite class to run?
I love A scale buggy. I
Copy that.
truly do. It's probably my favorite, class. But I also love the 2-wheel drive stuff like Gavin does. Um, you know, if there was a race that I had to pick, that would be a hard pick for me. I love 2-wheel buggy. I just love it. It's a fun class. It takes, to me, it takes more skill. Like Gavin said, you can squeeze the throttle on a scale and it just goes and it's very forgiving. And it takes finesse to run an A scale. It does, but it takes a lot more finesse to run the 10 scale stuff. And I truly like the 4-wheel short course class. um, it's probably the most fun class because we don't take it as serious, I guess. To me, I don't take it as serious.
For sure.
I
Like
agree.
last year,
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard about the little deal last year where, we all bought the super lights, right?
Yep.
So, everybody got super light and they're saying it's not going to work in the dirt. Well,
I was saying
every
that.
time we'd race, mine was extremely dominant. So, these guys were, here's Alex. See his hands going. He's that.
Yeah.
And then I said, it's not the truck. I said, I'll buy a 4-wheel drive slash.
It's that
and bust
veteran
your ass."
racecraft he was just talking about 30 seconds
they
ago.
go,
There you go.
"Oh yeah, go ahead." So I went and
And
bought
he
a
fucking did it.
used 4-wheel drive slash, and then I busted their ass mostly the whole season with it. So, it's
Awesome.
just one of them things,
He did indeed.
I'm probably
bust
on
our
the same
ass.
train too, though. I didn't think the super light was going to work in the dirt quite as well as it does, and I saw Alex running his at LCRC, and I was like, well, flies pretty good. I got to buy one too. So I bought one, and my first laps on it were at Motorama. So
Okay. I really like the truck. I think Techno did a good job with it. It obviously I run for Associated. You guys know that, but Associated doesn't really make a race truck for us in the 4-wheel drive short course. If they did, I'd
They
own
make the
one,
Pro 4S C10.
It's discontinued.
Oh, it is?
Jim, is yours
No, they
kit
have
stock
a
or?
they have a,
Aha.
a ready to run kit, Alex. That's a
Oh,
pro.
okay.
pro
Yeah, the one
Ford
with the
truck.
belts has
I
been
thought-
gone is
okay.
the Dodo, but they
Gotcha.
make a.
Right.
My
And
bad.
it has center drive shafts and stuff, but it's more of a
It's a basher.
recreational truck.
Yeah.
than it
Well,
is
let's
a
not say
race
anything
truck.
bad about a basher truck beating you now, like what he.
Yeah, because the Slash beat me anyway,
Right,
so it
so
wouldn't
don't
fucking
don't
matter.
tempt him, is what he's
You
saying.
get another one and beat me with his team car.
Jim, do you run your SL as a kit stock, or do you have?
No, I use mic setup.
Okay,
Which is what you have now,
No,
Taylor.
yeah.
We
I was just working on mine. I changed a couple things, but we'll see.
we actually, Mike and I, our cars are always very similar. And I don't know if that's because I was around him when he was so young that I shared a lot of setup stuff with him, and maybe his driving is similar to mine also. But we can bounce between our cars pretty easily and drive them both. And the setups are always close. Spring wise, we're close. Maybe pill wise, we're close, but we worked pretty hard on that SL to get them right. And Matt Williard was a big part of that too, because he had his in the mix of that. And we throw in a lot of time. I mean, if you want to be competitive, obviously, we got to throw in the time. Matt and I've spent a lot of weekends at LCRC in the off time. And if you ever look at the inside of my pit trailer, you'll see it's got a setup wall. Okay. The whole wall is dry erase board. And everything that we do, everything that we test, everything that we, find negative. I mean, we keep a good track on that stuff, and we could help people get to the setups pretty quick. And it all depends on your driving style too. But I could watch your car, watch your driving style, and help you to get better, as we all can. Watching something, it's much easier for me to watch somebody else drive than it is to try to fix my own car. That's the truth.
Jim, do you use that So Dialed app at all?
I do. It's Vin Manchanda has hooked me onto that So Dialed app. I do not do my setup sheets on there, but I look at that app quite frequently and do comparisons to see, if everybody's running, let's just say center on the C and D block, then there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? But if you get
Yeah.
a wide variety, then you got to figure out the driving style.
When you were talking about the whiteboard, the So Dialed app for me is kind of like my whiteboard. It's just on my phone, and I'll save a setup sheet or an idea, and I'll title it something. And I won't post it always to share or something like that. Once in a while I do, but anytime I feel like trying something, I'm saving like a different setup sheet, and it might only be like a shock fluid change or something like that. I'll save it as a whole new setup sheet, all that, and I'll title it something like that. So for those that don't know, Vin also is the one that turned it on to me, so I appreciate that. Give him a shout out.
Yeah, he's really good at tech stuff. With those kind of things, and like I need that help. You remember, I'm old. I still, and these guys laugh at me. I had to talk to Mike earlier today to get me all set up on here so I could even be live with you guys tonight. I don't know, maybe it's my generation, but I like to turn around and look at the board and say, "Yep, that's it." Instead of, "Hey,
It's
let me look
physical
at this
things.
thing."
Physical.
No,
Right.
Jim, I'm definitely with you on that because I've tried the so dialed, and I like it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure other brands do this. But Techno specifically, you can download the blank PDF form online, and then you can fill it in on your computer, even
Oh,
your
yeah.
phone or whatever. So I do that when I get home from a race. I put in, if I made any changes, I'll update it. Put the date, what track, and all that nonsense in my setup, and then like it's all saved on my computer, but then I have the ability to print it out. So while I don't have, it's not in my pit trailer where it's on my wall like you, Jim, but I can still have the hard copy. So I'm like, I guess in
Yeah.
between compared to the so dialed and
I
the
have no idea what the
brick
app
and
is
mortar
anyway. I've never seen
Sharpie
it, so.
on the wall.
Wouldn't know.
Right.
Have you
No,
seen the,
listen. However you can get to your destination, I guess, is the best way to get there
Yeah,
for
right.
you.
Pen and paper, or a
Um,
notepad, or something.
Right. I mean, anything works. But tracking it, keeping track of what you're doing. If I can
Yeah.
give any newcomers, anybody new to this, anybody new that's watching this, stick with a class, learn it. Stick with that car. Don't try to run 5 different classes. And everybody says, well, if you run 5 different classes, you get all the track time and, so on and so forth. And, that's great, but you're not getting great track time because you don't really get a car that's dialed in, and I laugh at this slow is fast because if you guys all remember when you were young, and I'd tell you, slow is fast, guys. Slow down. Don't bounce off the wall. Don't wreck. Okay?
Lauren.
Look, Alex is laughing. You know what I mean? You do not need a 4.5 motor. You need a 21.5 motor.
Nope.
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 Slow is
Nope.
fast.
I need a 4.5.
And
You
I
know?
started with an 8.5, so
Okay.
Right. So, it's just funny watching this because that was the thing I'd tell everybody, just get around the track. Get around the track. And when you can make consistent laps and it's very consistent, then we could make changes to your car to make it better. We'll figure it out together.
I'm still in that stage.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm still in that stage.
Yeah, Davey. Well, you're just a
Oh, yeah,
little
no.
slow at learning.
Just a little bit. But slow. That's
Slow
what
is
I'm saying. Yeah,
fast.
apparently not with learning.
Keep it on
I don't know.
all fours. Keep between the pipes.
But definitely everybody's saying how about having something written down or like your setups on an app or on the wall of your trailer is pretty good because I'm in the process of slowly cleaning and rebuilding my stuff and my things for the outside racing season. And even though Motorama was not that long ago, I for the life of me can't remember what shock oil I put in my damn car because I remember I was at the event, I went down in shock oil. Can't fucking remember what I put in there. So I think I'm just gonna leave it.
There you go.
Changing subject.
Gavin,
Oh, go ahead.
when Gavin was young, Gavin, when you were young and would go running together, I'd tell you, just tuck in behind me or I'll tuck in behind you and work those lines. If you remember that, we spent a lot of time tracking and, then all of a sudden Gavin would say, well, you're going too slow. I can't drive that slow. Move over, old man. You know what I mean? So, but we got him to where he was going by doing that. And anytime you guys have an opportunity to help somebody, especially young in this thing, please help them. Please help them. Make it a priority. I don't care what they're driving. I don't care what brand it is, whatever. Help the young guys. Help the new people in this game because we won't be around. We won't be around if nobody's playing with these cars. And this is fun. I've met a lot of nice people. I've had a great career doing this. I've had a great time doing this. And, I think that some of my best friends are from this sport. So that's what it's about to me. It's great.
I think I found out.
Go ahead, Gavin.
I think I found where that half mil shim goes. That I
Gavin, you
Well,
got to focus
that's
on the
one.
podcast.
Did you say you lost two?
Big touring car
Shiny
guy. huh?
object. Shiny object.
But
I'm still learning this car. It's so complicated.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wanted to piggyback on Jim with saying how you consider the people you race with some of your closest friends in life, period. And I definitely agree with that. Like, the more I get involved with the racing, which I completely want to, like, it's not like I'm getting obligated to get involved or whatever. Like, I want to be, balls deep into this toy car racing sport.
Mhm.
And the more I do and the closer I get with the people we race around, like, I mean, it's literally how this whole thing started. Davie and I would keep going to races, and he'd be staying at my house so we can leave early the next morning. And then we'd be talking the whole way, listening to podcasts, like, hey, we could do this. So then we set up the camera and did the damn thing.
Here
and
we
then
are.
Mike's like, I can help. Here's a new podcast logo. And I'm like, well, let's just have you on the podcast. And then Taylor's like, oh, dude, I have so much to talk about. I'm like, okay. And then, like, they're doing more on the talking side.
Yeah,
than
they're
we
doing
are.
more than we
So
are.
I'm like, okay, well, like, let's just do this all together because it always takes a village. But yeah, like, these are the best friends right here. Like, when I'm at the RC track, no matter which one it is, like, I'm at home, and even like going down to Tony's at ACS or any hobby shop for that matter, it's always a black hole because I have so much fun. I just don't want to leave.
And then you go to work Monday morning.
And then
go,
I got to
"Who
work
are all
Monday
these
morning.
people?"
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of lame how reality exists, but it's really cool we have this hobby.
Yeah, I'm so pumped to start racing again just because all the friends and get to hang out and all that. The people that the tracks locally have allowed me to meet and all of us, like, we got a super fortunate for all of us and the people in this area.
We definitely live in a
Taylor,
hot
you live
area.
out by LCRC?
No, I'm about 2.5 hours northeast, perhaps. So if
Okay.
you look at the center of PA and go all the way up to the New York State border, I consider LCRC my home track because I'm not really around anything. Macon tracks, it's like an hour and 3/4 away, straight north for me. But
That's nice. It's like 5 hours for me.
So have you gone to Tom's track, Taylor, to Rhythm?
I have not yet. Unfortunately, I'm trying to. It just fell on some other dates last year. I do plan to go to Tom's track. Tom's track is probably like 4 to 5 hours away, roughly, without Googling it right now.
Right. Well, I'm going to make it a point. I got to get it on my radar. I definitely want to hit his track. I met Tom through Matt Williard over the past couple of years.
They're
at
basically
LCRC,
brothers.
and he's a great guy, and he's a good ambassador to the business, to the hobby. And I think the guy would give you the shirt off his back. And I want to try to get out there and support him. And hopefully these guys will make a trip with me, and we could take a good showing out to one of his events this year. But can't say nothing bad about that guy. Like I said, he'd give you his shirt off his back, and he's a great ambassador to to this hobby. There's no question.
I've always said Tom's one of the nicest guys in RC that I've ever met. Not that there's a lot of bad people, because there's a ton of really nice people, fortunate to meet. But I'm the same with you. I need to support Tom's track and everyone else too. So make sure you let us know in Discord or send me a private message if you want, Jim, because I'll try and go to the same event too.
Right. We just got to look at these events for the year. We'll talk to him in the next couple of weeks for, the opener, and we'll try to set something up, and as we talk about the opener, we're only 20 days away or 19 days away from that. That's
Taylor
going to
knows.
be an amazing weekend. And, we can't say enough about Kevin and, Krista. They're, if you've done as much traveling as I have all over the country over the years, they run one of the nicest programs and have one of the nicest premier facilities that I've ever been to.
And it's right there.
Yeah, and it's right there. It's the 2.5 hours, or for me. But
Yeah.
we're very fortunate with our location where we're at. We have good facilities around us.
And
Alex,
world class, because I mean,
yeah.
not to always boast about Kevin's track LCRC, but it is talked about through the world. Like, he's built one of the most amazing facilities and has this wonderful event 7 times a year. Like, we're truly blessed to be able to have that.
In our backyard.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Kevin, Kevin says to let him know too because he would like to go as well.
To Rhythm or to
Cool.
his own season opener?
The WOC.
Well,
No,
we're gonna
to
have
the-
to get
to the
Tom
track
to
you guys are
post up
talking about.
his. We got to get Tom to post up his schedule, and can anybody pull it up to see if
Tom's
he
in the
posted up
comments
his
right now.
schedule Yet? Tom,
Oh.
what's your schedule?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
Whoa, not that.
Whoa, not that.
Tom, I don't know if you heard, but we've been talking about you and your track.
Oh man, I think I lost a shim too.
We're doing a podcast here, Gary.
Oh man, the special shims too. I don't have any more.
Oh geez, it's a special shim. Of course, it's an X-ray. It has to be a special shim.
That look right?
Collared shim.
You
Oh.
can't just throw this car so is you can't just throw a random shim on it.
So I got their schedule pulled up. We got the season opener on the 12th. A club race May 3rd. It says for May 10th it's to be announced. May 31st is a club race. June 14th club race. July 12th club race. July 26th is to be announced. August 16th is a club race. August 30th is a club race. Then September 6th, that's the Northeast RC Racers Podcast Cup. That sounds like it'll be a fun
Oh, is that
event.
what that means?
Then September 27th is another club race. And then October 11th, their last race, that is the Racer Appreciation Race. They run A-Scale Nitro, 40 plus Nitro, A-Scale E-Buggy, 40 plus E-Buggy, Nitro Truggy, E-Truggy, short course, run what you brung sportsman, and they say 5 or more to make a class for whatever you want and to come race with them.
Kevin, we need to sit
Well-
down and you let me know your schedule and we'll set something up.
Yeah, well, let's try to talk about this at the opener over a drink or something one evening, and try to set up a date where it's going to work for everybody.
I'm definitely in for that. That would be a blast. And
I can't drink.
Mike, Mike, are you in for a 5-hour, 6-hour trip to a racetrack? I mean, I know that.
come sleep at the
I
kid's
mean, I'll have
house.
to get Chris Patterson to ride you, okay? But like, are you in for that?
It depends. Driving the Subaru that far is not fun.
Come sleep at the kid's house and ride in the
Driving? Chris
GTI.
will be driving.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if Chris wants to, I'm definitely in. Driving my car more than an hour and a half sucks. I love my car, but it sucks riding in it that long.
Just get a little Prius.
I'm getting a second car eventually.
Real quick.
What's that little thing that Kaufman has? That's,
Oh, the Kia Niro. That thing's sweet.
yeah.
Real quick, I just want to shout out Tom's podcast he's a part of with George and Toby and everyone, the Northeast RC Racers podcast on Facebook. Go check them out. Vin Manchanda's on it as well. They talk about a lot of good stuff for the racers in the Northeast, like the east half of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. Very good podcast to listen to. Vin Manchanda always throws in some good tech tips there towards the end, and there's some good tech tips throughout it. And it's a good listen for anyone looking for a good podcast to listen to. That's all. I just wanted to pitch that real quick since we were talking about Tom.
A lot of knowledge in that podcast, fellas. A lot of knowledge.
Yeah,
in
if you want to learn how to get faster, go there. If you want to see how
Right.
many beers Davie can drink before he throws up in the hotel sink, and then Toby has to wake up to a clogged hotel sink, come here. Anyways. So we're an hour 15 deep.
Oh Jesus.
So what we can do, we can roll the ACS commercial. Shout out to Tony and Colleen. Take a little break. Jim and Gavin can decide what they want to do, if they want to stick around or
we
not.
Need to take a break at this halftime,
Yeah.
really regroup and figure
Yeah.
out what the hell
So
we're doing here.
we're gonna roll the ACS commercial and go from there.
So, how do you hobby? At ACS Hobbies, we've got everything to fuel your passion and spark your creativity. Whether you're into RC cars, model trains, boats, or planes, we have a huge selection of kits, parts, and accessories. Need paints or tools? We've got you covered. Test your skills on our RC crawler course or race on our oval track. There's always something fun to do. Plus, discover an awesome range of games for all ages. ACS Hobbies is your ultimate destination for hobby enthusiasts. Visit us today and start building your next adventure.
To support Tom, I think it would be a good time. And I think it would be a lot of fun. So,
Hell yeah, I'm so in. Thank you for joining us, Jim. It was a blast having you.
Good talking to you, Jim.
Hopefully we can get you again.
yeah, you too, Ted. Absolutely, guys. I'd love to.
Jim.
We'll let you leave.
All right, fellas.
Bye, Jim.
See you in a few weeks.
See you guys. Take care.
See ya.
Thanks.
Lonzo has signed off. That was
And then there was 4.
Then there's 4. That was Jim Lonzo
5 again.
joining the chat. Real quick, as the commercial closed and we're back to streaming, I want to shout out Tony and Colleen down at ACS Hobbies in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. They are the premier source for your hobby necessities. Pittsburgh. Go check them out if you're in the greater Pittsburgh area. Is that greater Pittsburgh area, all you Pittsburgh folks? Is that what we call Monroeville?
Yes.
Technically, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty
I
great.
guess.
Yeah, it's in
They
Pittsburgh.
got,
I'd say it's greater.
yeah, they got the one RC track and the
Close
crawler
enough.
track and tons of other non-RC related hobby items. Very fun to hang out there. Anyways, podcast.
Gavin, who's winning?
He's watching the world's warm up, right?
Yeah, I know.
Well, they just finished the last heat. I think Lachlan Donnelly, but let me check.
In 2-wheel or
Chris
4-wheel? Is it
Fury
4-wheel
says,
day?
"What's up, bitches?"
What's up?
4-wheel.
Oh, Duffy's in the chat.
Sean Duffy says, "What's up?"
Hello,
Yeah, Lachlan
Sean.
Donnelly.
What's up,
Hello,
minus
Chris.
Alex?
That's an
up,
X-ray
guys?
guy for you, right?
Oh, it's backwards.
Isn't he the X-ray
Can
guy?
you read that?
Sorta.
Who? I mean, Chase
Sean
Lemieux got
Duffy?
4th, which is good.
But isn't
He's X-ray.
the Lachlan guy of X-ray guy?
Oh,
No, that's associated.
Oh, who's the X-ray guy? What the hell is he? He has a funny name too, an Aussie name.
Ari Bakla?
That's it. He's
That's
the
a
X-ray
funny
guy.
name.
He's X-ray. He got
Cause wasn't it him and Rivkin doing it at the other race last time he was down there, or was it this guy again?
Rivkin was there.
Yeah, but was it Bakla going at it with him last time, or was it this guy?
No, it was Lachlan Donnelly.
Oh,
I think Bakla too. Who knows? Probably.
Taylor and Mike, I just saw Kevin's comment where he said his schedule sucks currently,
well, you know.
and his best timing for racing about would be like June, July-ish. So we'll keep that in the back of our heads, and like Jim said, we'll talk about it at the season opener, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be easier. Just sit down. talk
Yeah,
to it.
way easier. But, Taylor, do you have any pending? Davie, you had your finger.
That's the back of your mind, like right
Oh, yeah.
around here.
Taylor, do you have any pending
What's up, Mike?
topics?
I was just going through the comments right now. Say hello to Mike.
Mike.
See, Malone.
Oh, what's up, Mike?
Yeah, hope you guys had a good time at Trains the Lane today.
Yeah.
Did we talk predictions for PMB and all that?
We talked Nitro Buggy predictions, but that's what I was going to refer to was if we want to circle back, because I know intermediate should be
Because then
about done by now.
Isn't that when everything train wrecked and we all got?
Yeah, and
Fuck.
we were tossing tires, and the dog was wearing the headset.
Yeah, so we
I stepped
were
out to pee.
Yeah, we were intending to do that, and then I think everything went to shit. And
So I can pull up the results again. God damn it.
Hey, while he's doing this, everybody, so Alex and I always have a bet of something for short course truck racing.
Oh, did somebody in the
and this coming
comments
weekend?
tell you what you should do?
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what we should be betting.
So currently, Taylor owes me a case of beer from the Motorama results.
I
And
do.
if we want to bring the story back farther, Taylor whooped my ass all year last year, and Taylor was undefeated against me in short course. So this is the comeback kid of the year story. I am 1-0
Yeah,
against
You
Taylor.
Can't have a Cinderella story
Can't.
unless you're down first.
Right. And I've been down.
and we're down.
So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think Taylor's and I side bet should be. You know, anything. We like to have appropriate fun.
Appropriate.
Hey, did we even talk about our point series? Do we
We
want to
did
go into
not.
that?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I mean, I have them on my computer if we need to share a screen or anything like that.
Yeah, you
Um,
could share your screen because then people that are looking at the stream can look at that, and they'll see it in your Discord chat. Might be small for those
It'd be
viewing
really-
on a mobile device.
It'd be really, really small. No, it'd
Okay.
be really, really small regardless.
Yeah, might not even be worth
wouldn't do it.
doing. But
No, I wouldn't do it.
We'll post it when
So-
it's finalized.
we're doing a manufacturer point shootout for all the big races, all the race time events, Roar, all of that. So we'll be keeping track of manufacturers. They're going to be doing. We'll do top 15 of the A main for Nitro Buggy, and all these are just for Nitro Buggy because that's the only class that matters.
Facts.
It'll be 15 points goes to first place. TQ, excuse me, gets 1 point, and then 14 points and so going down, and then just because I'm already doing points for the manufacturers of all the cars, we'll do drivers points as well. That'll be its own separate thing, and driver of all the A mains. We'll keep track of everyone that runs the A main. Drivers will be 100 points, and then subtract a point going down, and then 1 point also for TQ.
Why make the drivers hundreds and the manufacturers?
Because with the manufacturers, when you have 4 guys running the same brand in the A main, so now it's like 50, 60-ish points. So it's going to be like already this large sum of points. But then with drivers,
Yeah, it's going to be like a 4 or 5 digit number.
Yeah.
I kind of was doing the math, and
all out.
The
All right,
standard
hey,
for lifetime
thinking.
point series is 100 points to the winner, 1 point for TQ, 99, 98, so on and so forth. So
Okay.
me and Taylor bounced heads with this for a little bit, and we think this is what we're going to do for now, at least.
Sure.
And for the people that didn't listen to the last podcast, this sums up our idea of how do we make RC more of a thing, and like how do we get it to the point of being a televised broadcast on ESPN 8 The Ocho. And this was an idea we collectively came up with, was how we need an actual series to follow across the nation. So we're picking the races that we already have and just tallying from there. So
Such an original idea.
I know we're just doing a thing that like people have done before but then haven't. But
Yeah. So people pick it up, do it, and go, fuck it, toss it, and then the
Yeah.
next chuckleheads pick it up.
little
and-
do they know we have nothing better to do.
Oh, that's probably what they had too.
Yeah, well,
Alex, do you see Duffy said that you're going to have to wear a dress after you
I can
lose
vibe with
the
that.
next race?
I can vibe with that. Okay, so are you gonna have to wear a dress then when you lose, Taylor?
I'm not going to lose. I'm sorry.
That's weird
So
because
that's
you're gonna
a
be wearing a
yes.
dress. Okay, so we'll do the virtual woodshed handshake. Loser has to wear.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
That is a tough one, though.
That is a
Okay,
tough
I
so-
don't have a dress.
Okay,
Well,
here it is.
The thrift stores have dressed.
I was gonna.
So we're racing
wanna
a
do one?
WO. We're racing short course to WO.
So here's the
Loser has to wear a
sub-point
dress
series.
at the LCRC pit party.
You're
Loser has to wear a dress at the LCRC pit party.
you cut out so bad there.
Again?
Oh, of course he did. Yeah, sure he did. Sure he
Oh,
did.
man.
Loser has to wear a dress at the LCRC pit party.
We're going through a tunnel, guys.
Stop.
We're
Here's the
going
reason it's
through a
cutting
tunnel.
out. All right, Taylor. Loser has to wear a dress at the LCRC pit party.
Ooh, that's tough. I was just going with like a case of energy drinks.
I don't want a heart attack. I want to see you in a dress.
I do.
That might give
I'm here
some
for a good
people
time,
a
not a
heart
long time,
attack.
man.
You know.
We'll put that as an idea for the loser. We got
Okay.
6 or 7 days to figure it out. Thank you, Sean, for the recommendation. I'm a big fan of the partying in that aspect.
I did it. I got the sway bar on.
Congratulations.
Without the shim, or where was the
Gavin's
shim?
just over here. Just
No, he's
Thanks for
just
joining
over
us,
here
Simon.
for us.
This is the most infuriating thing of any RC car ever to be invented.
Is that what it looks like when you lose your temper, Gary?
No. If you want to see me lose my temper, it's me running 12th scale pan car on VRC. That'll make me lose my temper. I almost threw my radio yesterday.
I mean, we'll fire it up right now.
So
It's right behind me.
I try to play
Sean
that, but
brought up a
every
good
other
question.
time I.
Why does Alex want to see Taylor in a dress so bad?
Yeah, that is a very
Because
good question.
Taylor's
He
a
was
b-
all for
I don't
that.
know,
because
what was it?
Taylor's a big gym dude and he always wears like. Okay, preface. Sean, have you ever seen Taylor in a cutoff shirt? And if the answer is yes, then you should know why I want to see him in a dress.
Just got warmer in here.
All right, let me see them legs, son.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh-oh.
this is a
Stand
bum.
up. Hands right
What
now.
is that?
Yeah, I guess that's all I have on that. We'll let the comments decide
Okay.
on the rest of that. Circle back. We
Circle back
We-
to what? We
derailed. I don't even know.
we didn't even get back on the damn rails.
Michael, to address your, no 8 scale short course, they run the super light techno, so you're good on that.
You'll fit in, Mike. If you need help or anything like that too, give me a heads up. Obviously, Mike here is like the guru of all this, and I get my help from him. But I got a whole bunch of different springs and things like that too. I'll try and keep with me.
Yeah, and
Here's actually a question for all of you guys.
oh boy.
Do you want me to bring all of my short course stuff?
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
my car, but like all my parts.
Bring
and
your car too
setup
in case
stuff.
we have a really bad
I
day.
want
know,
you
have
to
the
bring the
desire to run
car
it.
so that we can have a good time just bashing around and try to race each other.
Yeah, we can have fun in practice or something.
Even if you school me, I don't care how
The
bad. I get
truggy
my
is
butt kicked.
only good for LCRC.
Do you want me to run it at
short
the opener
course
since you're gonna be
everywhere
there?
else?
I do.
Okay, I'll run it at the opener because you're gonna be there. But I'm not like when I'm at LCRC, I'm only running 8 scale. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I'm only focused on 8 scale when I'm there too. Like once in a while, just us as friends like to run 10 scale. But to me, 10 scale, like I don't care about as much, and it's so easy for me to drive that I don't make setup changes. A lot of my tires on my short course stuff are like 3 years old. I don't even focus on running like the new tire, things like that. I just throw whatever on it, and it usually works pretty good. So it's fun to be competitive in that way and not too stressed over it.
Mike Malone, I want to say something to you directly real quick. Most of the guys that run at LCRC and 4-wheel drive short course are pretty much I think it's all techno, first of all, because that's the only short course really available right now. But it's majority of super light technos. So, and we're all super close with each other, and we're all super welcoming, of course, too. So if you end up coming out at some point this season, everyone will be willing to help, parts, setup, etc. We got you, man. Come on out if you can, if you want to make the trip. I know it's a long trip for you, but you'll have a good time. I can promise you that.
He's posted he's coming to LCRC, so
Yeah. Well, I know. If I remember correct, him and Gary Terry are pretty close geographically with their living, so I know him and Gary Terry tend to go to races together once in a while, and I know Gary's gonna end up at LCRC, I believe. So it's gonna be a good time. I think dude. This season is gonna be fucking sick. Like just
Gonna be
all
a good
around,
time.
everywhere. It's gonna be so much fun.
Mike, are you coming to LCRC?
I am.
Yay.
It was decided like yesterday. Yeah. Very exciting. Yay!
Yay.
Gavin's not allowed in the mobile woodshed.
Okay.
If I'm not allowed, I'll just go to an on-road race.
You're allowed to LCRC. You're just not allowed in the mobile woodshed.
Oh, okay.
Cause boo. I'm gonna get 2 floor mats. One that says the slowest fast RC podcast.
And the other one that says
you
Boo
know,
Gavin.
the logo, and then the other one's gonna say Boo Gavin.
So basically, after tonight, we're gonna have Uncle Mike work on a little thing to put on the screen, like where the ACS and slow as fast is, one that says Boo Gavin the whole time. I vote we
Gavin.
do that.
Can make that happen.
And
that-
now we'll take our second sponsor break.
Yeah, that's right.
Boo Gavin. And
that
it's just
could be our first. That could be our first
Boo Gavin.
merchandise. Get your Boo Gavin stickers. Join Boo Gavin Racing.
We love you,
you
Gavin.
guys didn't know I've been working on another sponsor, Rain Energy Drink. No, it's coming.
Yeah, I'm working on Sarnelli's
Sarnelli's, yeah.
Sarnelli's beer distributor. Shout out Jeffrey.
He the guy
Hey,
that
for
runs
everyone
the
else
register?
watching,
He's the guy that owns.
I want it publicly known that Alex is scared of talking to the pro racers.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm
anytime
fucking terrified.
you guys see a pro racer, we have to get them to chat with Alex.
Dude, I am so terrified. Like, when I was at Motorama and Toby had me do the thing that I've never done before, but they've been there, but I've never been there. And it's all fun and games, like, and I'm literally texting Davie. I'm like, who does Chase Lemieux run for? And I'm, like, Googling these dudes' names. Like, as soon as they win the race, I'm Googling their names to see who they run for because I don't follow it as much as I want to. And then I just, fake it till I make it. And like intermediate's fun. They're just average Joes like me. Fast, but whatever. They're cool dudes, faster than me, where I should be. And then we get to pro, and all of a sudden, fucking,
Mayfield
Techno's
standing
Lord
next
and
to you,
Savior Mayfield is next to me.
And Chase
And
Lemieux is
he's
there.
like, sup, dude? And I'm like, and like, I don't know if I showed it during the recording.
The best way to think of it
Feces.
is that they're just a normal person, but they can drive a toy car fast.
Right.
That's
I know that.
the only
Dude, if 99% of the human population goes to a gas station and Lutz, Mayfield,
That's right. And they're there at the
Rifkin,
gas station. They have no
Hecker, if
freaking
they're there just getting gas on the other side of the pump, it's gonna be like, hey man, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, they
That's
aren't
what's
Lewis
funny.
Hamilton, they aren't
Right.
Kyle Larson, and I know that, and I understand all of this. But like, for me, like, my childhood dream was always, I want toy cars to be the thing I do for a living in some aspect. So now it's like, here's these dudes doing the thing, and like, not
Yeah,
necessarily they're like heroes,
Yeah.
but they're like inspiration.
Right. It's
it's
kind of like
Oh my God, you're doing the thing that this such small population of the world does, and it's the thing I want to do. Ugh.
Yeah.
Touch.
signed beer cans
Yeah.
and trophies.
Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Ryan.
Literally
You
how
know, I
I
was
walked up
thinking-
to Lutz
yeah.
and Mayfield.
I was
Mr.
thinking-
Ryan, can you sign this for me?
Yeah.
And, like, my
Yeah.
legs are crossed and one
Yeah.
leg's up in the air. And
Yeah, oh, hamburgers, guy.
I brought a Sharpie.
Yeah. If we were smart, we could have been like, yeah, those shit trophies you're holding right now for like second place. If you don't want to take those home, you could like John Hancock those right now, and I'll take them. For, like why not? Because you don't want to take those home. You had him sign the trophy, and he goes, "Oh, that's where that thing ended up." He did. He didn't even know. He's like, I gave it to somebody, and oh, that's where
Yeah,
it ended
Mayfield
up.
had no idea. I'm like, yeah, I won this at the cancer. He's like, oh, well, I gave it to this dude. I'm like, well,
It's
he
like-
gave it to them.
He didn't even know.
Anyways, I shit my pants when a pro driver is within 10 feet of me. But then when we're watching Pookie on the
So-
stand at Motorama running, because intermediate or whatever, we were watching some intermediate run right before pro, or intermediate was after pro. So we're waiting for
Yeah, they
Lauren
were
to
all
walk up
Marshall
on the
and
stand.
Pookie's race.
So we're on the ramp of Motorama.
Yeah, all of them are walking down, and
we're like
don't even
recording
pay-
and everything.
Yeah, don't
this
even
vlog
pay
thing.
attention. If you
Like,
watch the
Mayfield, Lutz,
yeah,
Bourdon, just walking past, and we're like losers, whatever. And then we made a video, and we're like zooming in on him. We're
was
like,
that
look at
ever
this
released?
nerd, Lee Setzer. Look at this nerd, Mayfield.
Or, Jacob Hardison over
Nerd.
there. Yeah, nerd.
They're
So
not.
Thing
going
is,
back
you're gonna
on.
have a-
Go ahead.
You're gonna have a
Mike.
really hard time at LCRC this year.
Yeah, no. See,
Oh,
I
well,
can
we're gonna
announce.
Be there at all the races.
I can
but they're all
announce
gonna be there.
fine, like at
I mean,
the
what all
Halloween
races?
race.
No. Outside of the booth, you're gonna be walking around.
Bricks. Out of my pants. Yeah, I was telling Taylor that at the Halloween race when Lutz was in. I remember using the term, Lutz is within spitting distance of me. Not that I would spit on anyone, but like I feel like that's a good, accurate American term of measurement.
Yeah,
That's how you know how close he is.
Yeah.
He's right fucking there. And I'm like, Lutz is right there.
he
And
just
Taylor's
farted,
just
and
like,
the wind blew, and I can
Taylor's
smell
like,
it.
hey, old friend, yeah, your nitro's going to be good. I'm going to fuel you so good. I'm going to be that fucking guy in the pits for you. And I'm just like, hi.
What's funny is like Lutz and I
That's pretty funny.
don't talk like a ton of RC stuff anymore. Like usually it's like diet, working out, things like that.
Yeah, normal
stuff,
thing.
like, not even-
normal thing.
But he's such a nice, friendly guy.
Oh, yeah, they're
And
all
then, like,
great
sure,
people.
if I have questions like on RC stuff, like yeah, he absolutely answers it.
Yeah, it's because it's like, this is the person I'm supposed to ask this question to, but like everybody and their mother asks this question. It's like, do I really want to bother this guy again asking the same stupid question that he's probably heard 9,000 times?
See, Alex, what you need to do is you need to get invited to a dinner that they're going to, and then you see them off the track or outside of the track area.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then my social anxiety will kick in, and I'll just get fucking hammered and make a complete ass of myself.
Well,
when they go to
See, that's
dinner,
called
they don't-
self-control.
Yeah.
So that's what the
About racing
mobile
it.
woodshed's for. That's what the mobile woodshed's for. Come in
Yeah,
the mobile
it can
woodshed,
wait an hour
Ryan.
until you get back.
Here's a picture of Taylor from 2009. No one knows about that but me and
Who
Mike.
probably looked like me, I'm gonna guess.
We'll go over that later,
I don't
Taylor.
know. Again, I
Okay.
only just
That's
showed
a-
up
that's a
2 minutes
surprise.
before we started.
Back
Oh,
when I was
so-
skinny.
That's right. He probably
You
looked like
couldn't
me.
tell, it's just your head. But
Oh.
side quest for the mobile woodshed. Everyone's first down payment to stay in the mobile woodshed is you have to bring a printed out framed 4x6. Like, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a nice frame. You can spend $3 on it. You got to bring a picture of one of the other parties we race with in an old embarrassing photo you find on Facebook or somewhere on the internets. It doesn't even have to be
So I'll
embarrassing, but like a non-RC picture of them like 10 or 20 years ago.
So I'll find an embarrassing photo of you on the internet
Yeah.
and frame that.
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
the orange and black YouTube. That's where you can find me best. Anyone? And we're banned. Look at that.
Orange and black.
I don't get it either.
I don't get it.
Well, that shows what type
Gavin,
of
how's
person
that
Mike
sway
and I
bar
are.
I'm really locked into these sway bars.
You sure are. So when was the
Well, if your
last?
sway bars aren't locked in though, they need to be free.
Aha! You got him. Oh.
Huh?
When was the last time you ran that?
Last week?
Last week.
I'm gonna pee.
Is he racing today? Was he racing today?
No.
No. When's he racing that again?
This?
Yes.
If we don't race at Josh's next week, then I'm going to Austin Town on Sunday.
Oh.
Hey, Davey, you
Yes.
want to talk about RC stuff in depth? Like, remember that conversation we had off air that we never recorded, the three of us, about what is high grip? Do you want to lead into that? And then I'm curious kind of what Gavin's answer is on that, at least when it comes to 8-skill outdoor
I
stuff.
mean, sure. I wouldn't know how to lead into it, but anyway. Okay.
It was your subject, man.
Yeah, but
You asked me
even
and
even
Mike.
off camera or even off recording, I didn't know how to lead into it. I don't remember how I did it. So,
Mhm.
I guess Gavin's the new one out of this conversation, but then there's also people watching. It's just trying to figure out in my mind, out of all the tracks that at least I've been to, trying to classify them, like all those little boxes up probably at the top of your setup sheet that describes the track, like, try to figure out for myself what all these like description-y thingies are. And when it comes to the tracks I go to, it can start with LCRC. I'm sure everybody in the comments knows what that is, but then WOCRC and 412. And did I say another one?
We just use those three.
Right, we just
Yeah.
used those three. And I was just trying to classify those, in my brain and match them to like those little boxes at the tops of the setup sheets. And then, off camera one day me, Mike, and Taylor were talking about this, and we did the thing we could come across did we figure out two things? Number one, we figured out we would all consider those tracks as smooth tracks, right? And then
Yes.
Yes.
then we were kind of got into the traction, like looking at a track and seeing if it's smooth or bumpy is probably one of the easiest things, other than like, oh, it's a big track, it's a tight track, yeah, whatever. But like, so smoothness, as in like, thinking about setup, like, oh, you do this setup change for a bumpy track, or this setup change for a smooth track. It's like, well, what is bumpy, what is smooth, is what we were going into. And think that all these three tracks, LCRC, WOCRC, and 412, are all smooth tracks. So like when we go think of setup changes and stuff and things, like maybe we can think of those, setting it up for smooth, like my pistons or my oils or my springs or sway bars and such and such. And then we started getting into traction, and that's where it like an actual discussions happened, and we all have sort of different opinions and stuff and things. So I guess we can ask Alex, and I guess we can ask Gavin, since they're here and new to us. Out of those 3 tracks, LCRC, WOCRC, and 412, classifying those tracks in the sense of like you're filling out a setup sheet. It's big, it's tight, it's smooth, it's bumpy, it's high grip, it's low grip, dusty, ba-ba. One of you start.
Alex can start.
he's like, I gotta find this other shim. I lost another one. Okay. So let me break it down individually. It's worth noting, it definitely depends on weather, how many entries there are, because, track blowouts happen no matter how good your dirt is or how much prep work you did or how perfect it was when you started. The track gets, worn in. Things happen, especially when you affect temperature. Are we racing in July, August heat, or are we racing in April, May, October moisture?
Yeah, paint the picture for what it is, for what you're defining.
Right. So
Keep going with it.
WO. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be pretty smooth. Now, if you have Friday night rain or all week rain where erosion happens because the track's on a hill, the whole track is on a hill, so it all runs down off the track. So trenches appear, and sometimes those trenches just appear literally Friday night, and we can't do anything about it. And usually at that point they aren't deep, but it is enough to create a slight bump environment. Now, most of the track will be smooth in my opinion, but in your high speed sections there'll be this trench, and in my experience they've been like out of the run line or enough out of the way where the run line is just up here over the sweeper rather than down against the pipe or something like that. But I would definitely consider WOC RC to be one year in our area one of the smoother high bite tracks.
So we got the 2, smooth and high bite.
Yeah, I would
You
consider it
that
high bite, yes. When
You want me to-
moisture's in it. If it's dry,
So maybe
it's
we should
medium to low bite.
start with smooth and bumpy. Should we split them up, smooth and bumpy first, and then traction second, or do them all at the same time? I mean,
I'm mostly interested in hearing what people think for high bite, low bite, loose, low me, those definitions, because I think
just carry on.
I believe we're all going to be on the same page as far as
Yeah.
what bumpy is.
Uh-huh.
We all agreed on
I
that,
can-
but it's you guys.
But
I can
carry on,
speak till I'm blue in the face over the track conditions we see at WOCRC because
'cause he
that's
does
my
it.
local track. I'm there all the time. Me and Josh are building the
Weren't
track.
you there last week?
We're
Yeah,
working.
so-
I was there last weekend. I might end up there tomorrow, depending on what the weather does. I mean, that's my home track. I do the announcing, the social media, the promoting. I help Josh build the tracks. That's the place. LCRC and 412 are both places I've only been to twice in my life. So let me preface that before I go on. I know, weird, right? Like I go to LCRC once, and now that's my home. Now I'm parking a damn camper there. Thanks, Kevin. Anyways, so we'll go with LCRC. I went for the cancer race in September and the Halloween race in October, and both times it was the same layout for both times. I would definitely consider it smooth, over out, and we had rain at the cancer race. I think like Friday night it rained or something. It rained one of the nights during the night. It didn't affect the race program, but it rained and the track had moisture in it and there was sawdust on it. I think it was a cancer race.
Yeah.
But
that's why I was there.
I don't know what all was done track crew wise, but the track was fine. Like you could tell there were some wet spots from the sawdust, but by the time we were on the tone in the morning, it was fine. But there wasn't any erosion spots, there wasn't any trenches or nothing that wore in. So I would definitely consider LCRC to be a smooth track. From the 2 times I ran there, traction wise. And this is where it affects because now we're looking at a track with that can range from 200 to 500 entries on a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day race weekend, depending on how you look at it, compared to WO, which is max 80 to 100 entry race day on one day. So with LCRC putting in literally twice as many laps, or even quadruple as many laps,
And then it's a
compared to
3-day
WO,
event.
and it's a 3-day event.
At least.
When I say the traction isn't as nice as WO, it's not an accurate statement because it's apples to oranges. When you run the proper tire at LCRC, whichever tire it may be, because there's 18 of them that can work all at the same time.
Bomo.
Yeah. Traction's awesome at LCRC. You know, if you're on your
Right.
green reflexes, if you're on your Luxes, if you're on your Recons, Falcons, whatever the fuck the ProMotion boys are running nowadays.
T-Rexes or something.
T-Rexes, yeah, I don't know.
So-
Raptors.
I don't mean to cut
Alex-
you off, Alex, but when you say traction is awesome, are you saying just all the time, or are you saying under certain conditions?
Mhm.
Because that's what I believe,
I
trying to
remember
get
we
at.
had a
this is
thing
where
Yeah.
about
my
it.
opinion
Aha.
is flawed, I think, because I've only raced there twice. And, you know, it was like, if you stay in the groove, you're fine. If you get in the loom, the dusty bits outside of the groove, depending on your tire, you're not fine. But the tire that's the fastest, you got to run the groove to run it. But then there's this other tire where if you get outside of the groove, you're not so much out to lunch. So it depends on your skill level, your driving style, etc. So forth.
Hence only the 2 tires Gavin's going to be running. See?
Right. So
And
So-
say Alex, not to add to that too, is and kind of like what Taylor said. When it comes to LCRC, instead of I should say, are you trying to say the traction is higher, or are you just trying to say traction is more consistent from like the far left hand side of the track to the far right hand side of the track? Is it the same across the entire?
I
track?
would be willing to say the 2 times I ran there with the same layout,
Yeah.
traction is consistent. When my car does things I don't want it to do or things I don't expect it to do, it falls in the line of I fucked up this turn, so now I'm out of the line on that turn, or it's my driving that's making it bad, or just simply my tire choice if it's bad the whole way around. But when the car's right, it's right everywhere. Like for me, the Luxes were my ticket those 2 races there. When I put the Luxes on, it was fucking fantastic everywhere. Done. Great. You know, God's gift to tires, in my opinion. But, again, my opinion's skewed because I only ran there twice. So. And then with 412, it could be the same. I'd consider 412 not low traction, just less than these 2. Like, if we were to tier them, it'd be... I think WO would be at the top because you're pretty much, as long as there's moisture in the track, and if the water system's working and it's not 1,000 degrees outside, you're on bars. You might be on pins if it's a high entry race. And then LCRC is like a very close second, but the traction's still fantastic. Like, I'm not saying it's low traction. It's just, that's where, you know, getting quadruple laps compared to this local smaller track that's where the difference is. And then 412 would be a little bit under it, and that's because their dirt is a little different. It's fine, there's still good traction there, but you're pretty much always running pins there, and they're not necessarily a mini pin like was it Recons or something. You're kind of more on the reflex, or like short course, even blockades,
Or if you're Ed Crime Fighters from 2009.
and there's a lot of tire wear at 412 because of there's a lot of rocks in the dirt, because for the people that don't know, it's really expensive and a pain in the ass to get all these tiny pebbles out of dirt. So, you know, I respectfully understand that, and I'm going to enjoy the place I have to race at and be grateful there's this other track to race at and not just complain about it. I'm just going to run the appropriate tire, which tends to be a harder compound, so you don't have bald tires. Whatever. That's fine with me. But, and even then, I'd call 412 smooth. I'd consider pretty much all our tracks around here smooth.
Right. So
Did I
Gavin?
tangent bad on that?
So-
I mean, no,
Yeah,
that's
I would say so. I think
how
me
long
and
did
Mike are on the same
how long
page.
did we go after he left? Like 2 hours.
We talked till
yeah,
like
yeah,
1:30
yeah.
in the morning.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm glad
okay.
I left
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
did.
So,
that's
so
2
you
hours.
want to talk about babbling
About this one topic we talked about. 2 hours.
seriously, dead serious.
I was gonna say,
So Gavin,
Alex, like,
Yeah, do I get
Um,
to talk?
Not yet.
no,
Not
you're still
yet.
working on the sway bar.
no, he's putting on belts now.
Did you? That screws loose. You might want to tighten it.
Yeah.
Got a
forget
couple
to-
we're
screws
actually
loose
measuring
over
the
here, that's
forward
for
from-
sure.
You forgot to use Loctite.
Yeah, threads into
You don't use
aluminum.
Loctite on these.
Well, that's why you're taking it
I
back
do
apart,
have-
because your screws were loose.
No,
I
I'm
do have
taking
one
it apart.
follow-up
It's
for Alex.
Broken.
All right.
I
So
got a
quick
couple
follow-ups
things
for
too, like-
Alex, and then Gavin can
Yeah.
finally talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to
You can
cut
go
you off.
first,
Like, okay.
You can go first. Go ahead.
We were defining like what is high traction. I think we kind of got away from that. Like,
Yeah, we gotta wait for that.
I'm
back.
gonna say high traction is to the point where you're considering changing the roll center of the car. Like it is
Or sway bars
starting
or
to roll
something.
High
over.
traction,
You are
spraying dirt.
traction rolling to that point. So like that's what I consider high traction. Like I'm gonna check that box of high traction. Those are usually the conditions, and it's not just a track where usually the ground gets saturated by rain, and then it kind of soaks in a little bit, not just a little bit of water on top, because that seems to go away pretty quick. So that would be like an overnight saturation of the rain. LCRC will use that. I've been to WO where it's been real tacky, all that, like it's super high grip. And at that point, that's when I'm putting like a bar tire on, and I feel like, something green that's gonna work with the moisture in the dirt, and it's holy crap, hold on. Like, you might want to change the roll center in the car a little bit, change your diffs, and that's what I consider high traction.
So, my opinion's also skewed because what I started racing on was high moisture inside,
Slicks.
smooth as a baby's ass, pro
Same.
line primes,
Same here. So
hella tire dope,
Yep.
and like that's
And
my
Gavin,
bar for
too.
high traction. If you're on slicks and you're inside and you're on this 50-degree dirt, that's high traction. Borderline carpet. Like it's not nowhere near the carpet traction, obviously, but it's the closest thing you'll get on dirt, which is what I've never been to Macon, but that's what I assume Macon is.
All right, so we can circle back to this after I guess Mike has 2 seconds, and then Gavin can finally give his opinion.
Look at you in charge.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the drink is kicking in, but the traction thing is what we went on for 2 hours about. The whole just finding everything is smooth went pretty
Taylor's
quick.
cracking open another energy
But,
drink.
so,
We're gonna
yeah.
go on for another 2 hours.
Yeah, and you just woke up from your nap before we did this. Anyhow, carry on, Uncle Mike.
And,
Gavin has a
we're
whole
good.
rear end
Yeah.
sway bar to put on, so
Hey, I'm done with the split bars. so-
So part of my traction discussion that night when we had ours, where Alex, yes, I was trying to compare outdoor to indoor. I was told to throw everything outdoor or indoor out the window. That's not included.
Well,
in this
that
at
would have
all.
been nice
Yeah,
to know.
so-
Prefacing.
Yeah,
did,
so
you're right, we
just
did.
because like you can't compare, WOCRC to carpet. It's
No,
not
can't,
the
no,
yeah.
no,
same.
no. Right. So the whole
So-
vibe was 8 scale outdoor. Obviously, sorry
Correct.
everybody
Correct.
if you didn't get that wafting, get the hints.
Correct. So, and actually, this is something I thought of that I didn't think of the other night when we were talking. Was have any of you guys ran on like chemically altered tracks, like sugared tracks or anything like that,
Yes.
No.
that are
Yep.
outdoor? Okay.
Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Okay.
Only with 10
Okay.
skill, never with 8 skill though.
Okay. But I mean, you've experienced it at least. So, like for me personally, when you have an outdoor track that's sugared, right? That's what I ran on was sugared. That is a
Sounds
high grip
awesome.
that natural dirt will never achieve. So like at WO when we're running webs, multiply that traction by 2. And that's like a sugared track.
But isn't your tire wear pretty aggressive?
It's incredibly aggressive, yes. Your one running tires on sugared tracks.
Right.
Mm.
Oh, I guess I
Um,
have.
All right. So Gavin, I guess it's your turn. Let's just because the
Gavin's
whole
also run at Hoosier, right, where it's a glue track too. But that's going back. to what
yeah, that's
10 scale
indoors.
is.
So
We can't talk about that.
Yeah. the traction thing we're all going to discuss for about another 2 hours. But let's have Gavin. You can talk now if you're still there.
Well, what should I start with? Because you guys, I don't even remember what we're
When
talking
were you
about.
Well,
born?
we were trying to classify,
What's your name?
learn about, classify between LCRC 412 and WOCRC. Those boxes on top of your setup sheets. If you describe them as big, smooth, tight, bumpy, loose.
Okay. Well, I haven't been to 412,
No,
so no, I can't speak on that track.
you haven't been there yet.
No.
What?
I mean, I don't really run 8 scale anywhere besides LCRC.
Well, have you been? You ran at Tim's.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you, we'll substitute 412 for Tim's because they're
Tim's,
actually,
I
in
would
my
say
opinion,
that-
very similar.
I would say Tim's is bumpy. Just because there's like no clay, it's all dirt. And I would say that's like more lower grip, just because it's loamy. Like that's a pretty loamy track, I would say. Even that even when we ran there, we were watering every like 3 races, like not heats or not rounds. We were doing it every 3 races, just to keep the neighbors happy. But
Yeah, on the
Wow.
other side of it, the TR Speedway is very very green of a track, so it needed ran in.
yeah, because it
So,
doesn't run. We
yeah.
can't. We never really had any big turnouts, so we never could get
Mm.
enough laps. Like the first day we ran there, like after the main, the track was actually really good. Like it was starting to hold moisture a little bit. The grip was getting better, and then it sat in the rain for a week, or just sat for a week, and it rained, and then all the rocks came out, and then it kind of got crappy. Then you had to rake all the rocks out. We're gonna get the rocks out. Tim said he's gonna rent one of those rock things, but besides that, I would say TR is low grip with like a big lug tire, just to make grip. Probably like a blockade or Alex, you're muted.
I'm not muted. I'm just waiting my turn. When I raced at TR at the
Oh.
end of September, I was on Lux's in my e-buggy and I qualified third, but we had to quit because it rained. It was very
Yeah, wasn't
that day. You
really
weren't.
wet.
Yeah, but it was very high traction. It was very impressive.
Yeah,
'cause
Brad
I
was
think-
also telling me he was on Ellipse.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
Yeah, I heard like because the track it was like in the fall and the track was really wet.
Yeah.
But like whenever we first built it in the middle of summer, it was bone dry, and that was like yeah, when we built the track, we didn't even have water, so that's why it fell apart so fast. It's because we didn't the watering
It was a
setup
drought
wasn't even
too.
well, yeah, it was a drought, and we didn't even have the water pump set up yet. Like he didn't even have the pump when we were building the track, so we built it pretty dry. We just kind of had to rely on rain the week between the 2 weeks we were building the track. Um, but anyway, I guess we can talk about WOCRC. I'd say that track, if it's dry, it's some of the lowest grip you'll ever race on because it's just ice because it gets polished so easily. So there's not the tire has nothing to grab onto. You're literally just I don't know, full pin everywhere, just trying to get the car to like move, I guess you can say. Um, but when it's wet, it's some of the highest grip, at least for an outdoor track, I would say. Because there's like, I don't know, it's like an indoor, it's like kicking dirt, I would say, when it's wet at Josh's.
I feel like it's because it's got like a clay compound type of dirt.
It's like only clay too, which is cool.
Yeah, dirt came from a hole on the hill above Carrie's house. In front of it.
Yep,
yeah.
somewhere up there.
Oh.
It came from somewhere up there. Yeah, I would say that it's pretty high grip at Josh's when it's like damp. And then if it's dry, it's low grip. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to
I agree.
it's kind of hard to like find like a correct statement for that at that track because it's always different.
No, but it's
I guess
okay
you
to
can
be
say.
saying these two
Yeah.
different things. Like you're
And-
specifying, hey, when it's wet, it's good. When it's not, it's
Yeah.
not. So
Yeah, like
no, this is
it
good.
honestly wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt to make 2 setup sheets to describe both. Like if you
Yeah,
change your
That's
car,
allowed. Yeah.
like I usually just make 1 setup sheet for that track, and I kind of just run my car. I try to like set my car up when the grip is like when it's dry. That way, when the grip does come up,
Your car's
I'm
still
not-
good. Yeah.
car still has grip.
Yeah.
It's probably not the fastest it could be when for the conditions when it's wet, but
Right.
it's good if there is no grip. And I'd rather have grip when there's no grip than
Yes.
well, you know. What I mean.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying.
I was just about to ask, like, if you guys know that the track's about to water or water heavy, anything like that, other than tires. I won't consider tires because we all make a tire change. Do you guys make any setup changes?
For
No.
This is what I was
knowing that
trying
they're
to
gonna
learn
water.
about. by asking that
No.
question that night.
I don't think I mean, I don't normally,
I
unless unless I have my car set up for like, which they never do at LCRC whenever it's a black groove and then they water it. But like, if I had my car set up and tires and everything for if the track was black grooved and then they watered it for some reason, I would probably change something. But I've never done that. They've never done that, so I don't even know what I would change.
I always just start with changing tires to what I think would be best for the situation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that's what
something sticks
I would-
enough where I can, if I need to make a
Right,
actual setup.
yeah, that's like the entry level change is tires.
Oh my god, I'm so
What
dumb.
about you, Taylor?
So what about LCRs? Well, he didn't get to LCRC yet.
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
continue
me?
with Gavin.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Train,
yeah.
train derailing.
Squirrel.
I mean, I would say LCRC is medium, low to medium whenever it's like not grooved. And then when it's grooved, I would say it's medium, a little higher than medium. I don't know if I'd say it's ever like, I mean, it does get to be really high grip, at least by the e-buggy main, but by the nitro main, it's still like not quite fully grooved up. Usually towards end of the nitro main, it gets higher grip just because there's more like oil getting put down on the track. Because that's kind of why the track will groove up is from like the nitro after like, especially after like both nitro truck and it buggy mains. By the time e-buggy rolls around, the track's pretty a lot more dark, I guess you can say, than whenever the A main started. And that's usually when the grip is the highest, is by like the last race. So I mean, I would say it's close to being high. Probably is that high range, but I don't know. It kind of just depends what car you run and when you run it in the
Right.
day. If that makes sense.
You know, it does, because this is kind of what we did get into that one night, was that, at least for me, I posed to the other two, to Taylor and to Uncle Mike, that it's like, why? So, is it make sense that I think I like LCRC best, that third qualifier, when it's dark and wet, and for some reason everything just feels so much better to me. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Mm.
Okay.
I think Gavin, like Protect Cup, when we're running like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, I think was our discussion, like 3 qualifiers, and it's late at night, and the dew kind of sets in a little bit.
That's pretty. I would say that's medium to high grip, but it's like different than when it's
Yeah.
like an abrasive high grip.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to put on a scale like low to high because there's like wet track high traction, and then there's dry track high traction.
Yeah.
I
see,
agree.
we were talking about this, right, guys? See? It's
Yep.
weird.
Gavin, do you run at Trains and Lanes at all?
I've never been there. That's really far.
Okay. Yeah. Because I feel like they have like an abrasive type of dirt. It's real high
Uh-huh.
tire wear, but summertime come July, not like today where it's probably super muddy for all the guys. I've seen some pictures.
Yeah.
But summertime, that abrasive dirt, it's real high traction. So
Yeah, I've
to
seen
me.
videos of that place. That place, I really want to go there eventually because it looks like a lot of fun.
Kyosho Classic would probably be the event to go to. That, and they have a July race, like a Saturday Sunday deal, where it's like the July 4th race, and then Sunday is like a bonus club race for free. Like those two events are pretty good ones to enter.
Oh, I'll see which one I can, if I have room in the schedule to go. I probably will once.
Room in the schedule. Oh.
You should.
We'll see if we have room in the schedule.
Yeah,
we're good. Got nothing going on according to the shed wall.
Oh god, I have to take the whole rear end of this thing apart again. I forgot to put this one. My rear. Oh, I forgot to put this on, and I have to take off the whole rear bulkhead just to put this screw in. That'll be a job for tomorrow. I'm done with this right now.
Oh, I'm glad we get your focus now on the podcast.
Yeah. So now you're stuck with
It
us.
took literally 2 hours for you to wrap back around.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's
Has it
cool.
been, I guess it has been that long.
Time flies when you're having fun or not.
When you're wasting.
Oh, the A heat's up.
Is there anyone still watching?
Oh, it's up. Are they running or is it warming up or what are they doing?
Colin says he
Yeah, it's a
makes the
minute
most
left in the
changes to his
game.
car when he's at Trains and Lanes. Colin, why is that? Tell us about that in the comments.
So, I mean, the discussion we were having that night, I was just kind of asking, for in my brain, because I'm just trying to figure out in my head stuff and things about, how to feel what grip is and stuff. And, oh, you're making changes in regards to grip. And at least for running 8 scale and stuff, I find, judging traction kind of hard is why I was asking, Mike and Taylor and other people's opinions, because like I don't know if I would ever feel the need to like I can change tires. That's really simple and easy. But when it comes to like I guess when you're talking about traction, like changing your diffs, it's like I don't know if I feel like oh traction's high enough I can go up on my diffs. Like I don't know if I've ever been in a situation where I could have or should have done that. Is kind of what I've been trying to learn by asking, other people stuff and things and questions and things. Kind of nice to know that we all kind of agree that all these tracks are smooth and when they are grippier than when they're not. So it's kind
And
of
we all
nice to
agree
know
on
that
what's grip and what's not grip at these certain tracks.
sorta, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we all like at least go in the same general direction. So at least now that I know if I would be more confident in asking Taylor or Uncle Mike or Gavin or Alex their opinion on something because now I know what their opinion is. So it's like a lot of learning happening. If this makes sense to anybody. Taylor, new topic. I'm train wrecking here.
Taylor, I saw a lot of people were in the comments actually.
Oh Jesus. Telling me to shut up?
Well, I wanted to point out Lauren wanted to compliment Gary V's tire smelling capabilities.
Ah, yes.
And for those that don't know, Gavin has the ability to smell a tire and tell you what compound it is.
Does that go for any brand though?
You know what? Before
Because J-Cons definitely have like a certain aroma to them compared to
He
some
knows
others, I
the
would say.
answer is yes, but he doesn't want to admit it.
No, I don't. There's like the promotions I don't have figured out yet. Neither do like TZO because I don't ever see those.
So what's really funny is that right as we were about to ask Lutz to sign our stuff, he was sniffing tires.
So yeah, I'm not crazy.
No, I thought it was hilarious.
And so there's that. And while we're on the Gary V topic, Shane says, "What's Greg V up to?"
Yeah, is he sleeping?
We're at a concert.
He
At a
said that
concert?
earlier, yeah. Nickelback or something.
What?
No, the Eagle Mania. I think it's like a tribute band.
Oh, an Eagles cover band? All right.
Strictly 80s Joel.
I mean, Eagles were
Hey, I got a
70s,
peek. Can you guys
but...
keep it going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Nope, gotta end it. Gotta go.
Mike Malone wanted to shout out. He said, "Y'all got to see Gary's home track. We should get together for a track day." And Davie, you don't know because you don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
But Gary Terry made the sick track, I guess, in his backyard or something. And I know Mike, Gary, and Braden Dommel. I've been seeing those three putting in the work at this home track, and it's like home scale track. Like it looks pretty proper. It's very impressive.
Let me see it.
I'll show you later.
We got nothing else to
There's
do
too
here
much
to show
fighting.
these people
Well,
in the
there's more
comments.
comments to go through, but yeah, Gary definitely put in a nice track, and man, that's a trip. Like, cause Chris and Cash have their backyard track. That's an hour and a half or something from me, and I'm like, I'd love to drive out there and play around. But then Gary's like 4 hours from me, so now I'm like, I still want to drive out there and play around, but we'll see.
Jared, you don't want a touring car Did you want a touring car to drive it? You don't want it to work on it.
No, I can't imagine.
I mean, I'll build yours for you, but then you're not gonna know if or when you break it because that's going to happen no matter what. The car will break. You're not gonna know what to do.
When we were talking about tires, I assume Kevin put it in the comment of green reflex for the win. And
Sure.
Kevin,
Yeah.
this is going to be my challenge for you because I'm pretty green.
I'm shitting.
I'm pretty green to LCRC. I've never seen you race, so you're gonna have to throw down so I can see you know what you're talking about, which I'm sure you do.
This is why you
But-
don't want a touring car.
Those cars
Hold
look
on,
pretty
look at
clean
this.
on that.
We're back to touring car.
What the hell is that? An
Did you see
E-clip?
that?
An E-clip?
Look how tiny it is.
Yeah.
You know what that's for?
No.
The touring car.
It's the outdrives. They don't have pins. It's a bearing, and that little E-clip.
Oh,
has
it
a
holds the.
bearing.
Oh, I think I do know what you're talking about. Good lord.
You guys ever
It's-
build the old TLRs that have the E-clips that hold the shock pistons in like that, both on the bottom and the top?
the TLR
Yep.
short course had that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait till you figure out the X-Ray still does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
E-clips
TLR
for their
just
shock
disbanded their
pistons.
racing team.
On all their cars?
You know what brand doesn't do that, and it's so much easier to put together? The
Techno.
Mugans.
Mugen.
The 8
Probably
scale
a-
is still 8 scale's like a nut, but the 10 scale X-ray stuff is still
No
an E-clip.
E-clips?
Well, Mugen
mean,
has their touring car now, so
Their newest one.
yeah.
This is an old.
Yeah, what year is that
Old
touring
yeah.
car? Is it a 24 or 25? What are they on now?
25.
25, Jesus.
I didn't want to buy the old one because nobody runs it anymore. Then I'd rather run what everyone else runs at the tracks I go to. That way they can
Yeah.
help me.
You know, it's kind of easy
Real
for
quick,
the
I
X-ray
see Colin
because
still in the comments. I don't know if you heard earlier, Colin, we were talking about the Trains and Lanes event, and I want to give you a shout out for taking first place, man. Congrats.
Yeah, heck yeah, congrats, dude. I don't even know you, but congrats. Taking first place is a huge thing.
Colin Pitts, right across from Shane Laux, to the left of me at LCRC.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of Shane, he just put in the comments right as we were talking. Like, Kevin drives like I do, but way more consistent. He said he doesn't push his cars, he just keeps them in between the pipes. And he's super
All you gotta
smooth
do.
driver and doesn't overdrive. Well,
So
I
not
hope to
like
be able
any
to
of
see
us.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
none of us do that. I hope to be able to
maybe he
witness
can
that.
show us how it's done.
I'm gonna make sure that Kevin races at one of his own events this year. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do my best to do it. And Chris Patterson.
go back
hopped in
and,
the
like,
chat.
I told you
steal
that's
his
the
car
plan.
and charge his battery. And then just like steal someone's mic, steal Ed's mic, say, try to impersonate Ed's voice and say, Kevin to the driver's stand. And then when he comes up there, you give him his radio and say, you're on the track. And then
See,
go at him
good
for the race.
idea.
That's
See, but now Kevin's listening to the charade.
yeah, so way to go.
Yeah, so now
Do you
we
think
gotta
he's
come
still
up with a
awake?
new
For-
idea.
I think for
I'm pretty
Kevin
sure
to
he's
be on
sleeping.
board though, as long as it's a nitro car, he'll actually be happy about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, here's Shane Yoder. He said, "You guys are still live. Sorry, Supercross was on."
We've been going for long enough.
What?
Welcome to hour 2 of our 24-hour podcast.
Yeah. You know, Gavin still has to rebuild his touring car, so we got some time. He's still gonna
Yeah,
get the center
I know.
The
bulkhead
belts
in.
are half on.
Yeah, the
Sti-
belts are
He's
off.
still gonna build the shocks.
This can be our live thing. When we go live, Gavin has to rebuild a car, and when
I
Gavin's
mean,
done
we could be
rebuilding the
building
car.
it. Yeah, you know.
Anyways, do you guys, Mike, Taylor, do you guys have anything pending you want to bring up?
I don't have that much more stuff pending. Go ahead, Mike.
Really? Wow.
I don't either.
Mike's just
Honestly.
along for the ride at this point.
The only thing I have, Taylor,
I
is
am tonight. I'm here. Yeah, tonight I'm just here hanging out.
I'd like to, at some point, touch on the P&B results, because I believe qualifying should be over, so I like to see where we're setting up for the mains, but that can wait, too.
Well,
I
are
mean,
they
this
only
is our
doing 2
first lap,
rounds?
so-
Yeah, only 2 rounds.
Okay, well they're not over yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they-
Um,
They're gonna be done for another.
intermediate nitro buggy is running right now at 55 out of 59. So
Looks like they made some time up.
Did they lose time or something? Or are they gonna do qualifying tomorrow too?
No,
No,
I
there-
think
there's only-
Lance earlier said they were going to be done at like 11:30, but they must have made some time up.
Like, is there like a zillion people there that they cut it to 2 quals?
982
entries.
entries.
Yeah, that'll do it.
They always do
Yeah.
2 quals at PMB.
No, I don't know. Is that the one you went to?
What?
That the one you went to?
Yeah, I really did not like that race.
Ah.
What year did you go, Gavin?
2022, but I also wasn't as good now as I am, so that's probably part of it. Like I couldn't do a single lap with the whole event without wrecking.
I mean,
Gavin,
That was
was
the year of the
big-ass
really
track.
big jump, right?
No, that was last year. The year I went, the jumps, every jump was like a corner jump, and it was all a blind spot. So it was
Gavin,
pretty rough.
someone in the comments says they want to see you do the X-ray pose.
The X-ray pose.
Yes.
Oh, it's you.
Well,
It's like the pregnant pose.
anyway, can you give us the X-ray? Can you give us the X-ray arm cross real quick for the gram?
No.
for the thumbnail. For
Yeah,
the
for the
thumbnail. Yeah.
Alrighty,
No.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, I'm calling Shaky in the morning, telling him you won't do the thing.
He won't answer. He's too locked in for PNB.
He is locked in.
I mean, because he is, there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shane says PNB's on the schedule for next year. Gavin's school attendance leading up to the race. Pending Gavin's school attendance leading up to the race. So if Gavin attends school leading up to the race, then I assume he'll be at PNB. Exciting.
What, is Gavin skipping school? Where's he going? Getting on his bicycle and riding away?
I don't know.
Pending his attendance. Who's taking the kid?
We might even be able to carpool to that, Shane.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Veteran Muggin, Andy Blair is in the chat.
Oh! Andy's here.
See, now I can see.
Okay.
See, this is why I really liked when Kevin did the Hump Day Live, because it was just an hour.
You know,
and a
I
half,
haven't
like,
watched it. Is it posted yet? I
Yeah,
didn't watch
it's
it live.
posted. It was Kevin by himself because Chris.
Oh,
was
that's
out of
right. He
town
did.
doing
That
things
was
and
the
stuff.
thing they were saying.
So Kevin was just doing crowd work basically with the comments for an hour.
So it was
and
an
a half, and it
open
was so
mic and
much
crickets
fun.
were happening,
It
huh?
was, no, there was no crickets. It was a blast.
Oh, all right.
Dave, do you have a Facebook account yet?
No.
No.
How about he does that right now?
No.
No, because he doesn't disrespect us by doing other things while on the podcast.
So when we
I'm
were
not- I'm still here.
when we were at Motorama at
Sorry, Gavin.
4 a.m. or whatever, waiting for doors to open to start lining up, I was getting Davie to create a Facebook so he could start posting on the podcast Facebook, and within 2 minutes of this ordeal, he started doing the doom scrolling on Facebook where you just get lost in the
It's-
scrolling.
oh,
You're like,
so
oh,
this
I
is
know
what
this guy.
ha-
Oh, here's Ryan Styles Harris. Oh, here's Lefty with the reel.
Yeah.
And then he's 4 pages deep, and he's like, I should buy this shelf for my shoes. And I'm like, Davie, podcast. Davie. He's like, fuck, I'm doing the thing. So then he got really steered away from Facebook. And
I mean, it's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah. So it's like, oh, this is what the thing is. It's like, yeah.
oh, Shane says Gavin plays hooky and his mom gives in.
Oh. Like little Ferris Bueller over there.
Yeah, I guess. What's
People in the comments, any more topics before we move on?
the stream is doing funny things right now? Taylor's Gavin. There's another window popping up.
How delayed is the stream?
I don't know. There, I'm moving.
Yeah, we don't even know how delayed the stream is.
Yeah,
We don't know what's going on.
yeah. I'm ignoring the. Oh, I'm ignoring the video part.
Watching it
What
on your
is
phone,
the next-
Lonzo's still there.
What's the next topic?
Mr. Topic.
What do you
Man.
want to talk about, Gavin?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Touring cars.
The front gearbox of his touring car.
How we're gonna passive aggressively let carpet off road die
Please, please.
in the winter, please.
Yeah, on-road's the way.
Oh, Lauren has a question.
Oh.
Hang on.
I'm afraid of this
Hang
question.
on. Let me just call.
Yeah,
Let me just
I'm
call
getting
Lauren.
nervous.
Brace
already.
yourselves.
Uh-huh.
Here, let's
Oh,
see
he's
if-
calling. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it must be a really
Hello?
long question. Oh, that's between you
Lauren.
guys.
Oh, it's echoing. Lauren,
To answer Lauren's question,
what's your question?
it's too much weight.
In the chat.
Well, you're live on the podcast.
I hear that.
I just
Now,
answered
I want
it.
to know between you and Taylor, who's the big and who's the little spoon? Because we know who the big and little spoon is between Gavin and Jared. But I need the answer for the
I don't know
population.
this. Fill me in, please.
Taylor tends to be the little spoon, I think. Well, it depends on how we feel, because sometimes one is more tired than the other, and you know.
Sometimes one needs more comforting than the other.
Shane Laux, to answer your question,
I'll
right
be
now
there
I'm
Monday.
planning on coming in Wednesday.
I'll be there Monday
Damn.
morning.
What was Shane's
For
question?
what?
Really?
What is Monday morning?
No, I was kidding.
I don't know what's
Of
happening.
course, I'm not going Monday.
I'm hoping maybe Wednesday evening. If not, definitely Thursday morning, Shane.
I won't be there till
LCRC
Friday
arrival.
afternoon.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna go till Friday. Or Thursday night. Probably Friday.
I have to work Friday morning, so
Oh, big 9 to 5 guy.
yeah.
What do you do,
Meanwhile,
Mike,
we're all
by the
9
way?
to 5 guys.
Can we talk about
I'm
that on the
a-
podcast?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm a project manager for
Government
a
job.
telecommunication company.
He tells you he has to kill you.
A what?
Talk about
Telecommunications.
Okay. I'm sorry, Alex kept talking over you.
Sorry.
Shut up! You're making him lose his focus.
I got one.
One what?
E-clip. That's just one.
No, I'm putting that screw in. I took the rear end apart again.
So we just
Leading off of Chris's subject for Loop De Loop, you guys want to talk about the PMB track? All the features and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think it's pretty sick.
I've never seen.
Do you
it.
want to
Dude,
lead this
Bring
one?
it up.
We'll join in.
Yeah, I'll lead this one again.
Well, no, like, do you want to start it off? I mean.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, no. Well, we talked about features in the last podcast and all that stuff we like, stuff we don't like, things like that. There's just so much with this PMB track that we don't normally see. Like that wall ride is pretty sick. I don't know if I'd want to do it per se because it looks tricky. Like, man, that thing's got a lot of vertical.
Would
like,
you say it's
I feel like
psycho?
you'd have to drive up with it quite a bit of speed because it's going to scrub off a lot. Then the cement section, I like how it's got the one as you're driving towards you, it's got a single jump, like a spine jump, but then it's downhill on the end, so you gotta scrub off a lot of speed, jump real tight so you stay up on the pipe and don't float all the way to the bottom of the anthill there. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that section there. It's got another spine jump in the back. The moguls, like that's probably the only thing where at that track where I'd be like, it'd make me mad because I'm sure I would mess it up quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Those look terrible.
The hardest part on the track is that like whoop section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bumps.
The wall rides.
The beeps,
The
the
wall
jeeps,
ride's
the
easier than
creeps.
you think it is.
Okay. Have you
It
done
takes a
anything like that
lot.
before, Mike?
Yeah, I've been to PMB when they had the wall ride.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't take as much to get through it as you think.
All right. Just like Lutz said, and earlier he was talking about it on what was it, Thursday or Friday practice. He's like, he was excited to do it when he's running with the pros and not so much the open sportsmen
Oh.
because when they first were doing it on practice, you could watch a couple guys would come up and then they were coming right back down. So it's like kamikaze. That'd be frustrating as you're trying to go up with the right approach, and then all of a sudden the person ahead of you is coming back at you.
Yeah, like you really got to hit it like to the middle to the outside, and then actually like kind of arc the turn. You don't want to go up and straight back down. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? To where like what Chris just said there, it looks like if you have too much speed, you go up to the flat part and it kicks your tires off. That's exactly what it does. Your shocks decompress and you're just floating essentially on the wall.
And then if
Yeah.
you're anything like
I think
my
we were
car on a
seeing
wall
that
ride, it
with
just falls off.
a couple of the pro guys even that were going up with a lot of speed, but they were controlling it in a way. Like
Mhm.
you're watching the tires come off of the wall itself. But
Yeah.
what about Gavin? You're not even watching PMB, I guess. What about? Were you watching PMB, the layout, things like that?
Yeah, I was watching it before the 10 scale race started today. But I know I think the hardest part of the track would probably be like I just hear so many people complaining about the wall ride. Like at least like even like the pros they were saying it was hard, but I don't know if it's harder than whenever they had it last because I mean they can't really build it the same every year. So I heard the transitions like a lot more aggressive,
Could
at
be.
least from like the curved part to the actual like I don't know
The
flat
flat
part that's
flat
the
part,
wall.
the straight vertical part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that the transition's really hard, and I don't know. I heard it's really difficult. Sorry, but
Mm,
I don't know. It just looks when I was there, it was like the dumbest layout I've ever raced on in my entire life. There was like weird stuff everywhere, and you couldn't really put laps together. But that's like the hardest part on big tracks like that is connecting everything, like every lap. Um, just getting like good flowy line through the track. That's what I struggled with when I was at PNB last. But I think this track has like weird angles everywhere. Like it'll be like a 90 into like a 90 and like a double to like another 90 and it's like hard to like flow the lines together. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, the layout's erratic.
It's like hard to find flow.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. And you can see it even like I was watching the videos of like Mayfield's practice and all those like J concepts posts and whatnot, and you can see it. It's like
Yeah, it doesn't flow
no, like
perfectly.
it's gonna be a good main to watch, but yeah, it doesn't flow all that great.
Yeah, because it's just a bunch of like 90s. There's no like wider turns. Like the only thing that
Yeah.
flows is the sweeper, the big tabletop. Everything else than that, kind of like herky jerky, just
I,
throw in the car.
yeah, I'd
What do
say
you guys
like
think about the Joker lane? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Go
no, I
ahead.
was gonna say down the straight into the sweeper, and then that Gavin that first set of like 3 doubles. I think
Yeah,
that flows nice. Then everything past that is just
yeah, like
kind of
everything after,
chaos.
like from the berm all the way to the like the giant like after through the wall ride to the off camber, it like doesn't flow at all. You're kind of just turning in weird directions, and your car's over rotating, and you're losing time
Mm.
just from that. I don't know. I looked whenever they released the teaser of the layout, I was like, I don't know if I want to go.
It does overall look fun though.
It does.
Yeah,
It just looks hard to piece together.
I would agree.
But it's hard for everybody to piece together. Do you have that
Yeah.
similar feeling? So,
Mm,
what do you guys think
Yeah.
about Joker lanes and all that?
I love them.
I think it's sweet. I like it.
I think it's in the perfect spot.
Yeah, get rid of that the super hard spot.
The most inconsistent spot on the track, which would be the whoops. That's
Yeah,
always going to be the most inconsistent. And then you cut out the whole concrete section to where you go from a lot of grip to zero grip.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, some people were doing it in practice, and it was like 4 or 5 seconds faster.
yeah.
You know,
Davey, when you're ready, I
I-
want to hear your thoughts.
We were just looking
I
at
don't have thoughts.
current sittings after Q2 of intermediate electric buggy.
We were being Gavin and not paying attention.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's hear your guys' thoughts on the layout and the track.
Obviously I don't know how that wall ride is. I've driven many a wall ride in my short career, but they were always small 10 scale wall rides, and I always thought
Hold on.
wall
I
rides
gotta
were pretty easy to do. They didn't seem like that big of a deal. I don't know about this one specifically, but there it is.
I found those two shims.
Congrats.
Nice. Where were they?
Right below my feet. Thank God.
The
Thank-
rumble section looks abysmal, which I haven't watched enough of the race to see how many crashes it's causing to circle back around on our whole the podcast we were talking about when I was talking about obstacles that create crashes. So I don't know if it's really creating crashes. I watched a couple of the pros
It
wreck
is.
on it. I know. Yeah, so you can say what you want about that. I think concrete sections are super dope. I've been wanting to flirt with one at WOCRC because we have a chunk of concrete underneath the dirt in the one
It's
spot.
there somewhere.
I know where it
We
is.
know where it
I know
is.
exactly where it is. But it's just like I want to dig it up and do
About
it
what,
one day. But
1,500 square feet
you know, I
worth of
keep talking to
concrete spot?
racers and they're like, ugh, so I haven't done it yet. Obviously, I want to make sure
Let's
the
do it.
majority's
Let's do
happy.
it this year.
Huh?
Let's do it this year.
Okay, if anyone doesn't want a concrete section at WOCRC, put it in the comments. Other than that, I mean, the track just looks super fun, super flowy. Lots of jumps. I love seeing all the jumps, and straightaway looks like a blast. But, yeah, I can see how that wall ride would be tricky with how tall it is and watching the cars get offset once they're on the peak. And like Mike was saying, when the suspension decompresses and when Dave said your car is like, you know, essentially floating at one point, that's
Just falls off.
literally
Yeah.
what's happening. You just have to hit it, like Mike said, you hit it wide to carry that momentum. So when it starts to literally fall, you're already on the downhill of doing that. And I mean, I don't know how to get through that bump section. I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, I guess I was watching Jared Wiggins, and he was like jumping 6 of them and then jumping the last 2 or something. Like he was hitting it really
I watched
good.
Mayfield quad the first section, and then it was like a single type thing, and that was like the fastest run I've seen him do
that might have
through
been
it.
what Wiggins was doing.
And then I watched Wiggins really mess up the back half of it.
Yeah,
Get spun around,
he messed
and then
up a
I
couple
think
of 'em.
Drake tied up into him that time.
Gotcha.
So
Dave, do you have
Chris
any?
had a subject for you guys, or Davey.
Do you want to pitch
Go ahead.
onto that?
I haven't seen any of it, so I have
Oh,
no
okay.
idea.
So next
I was
topic.
trying to tell him to get a picture of it or something up so that people can at least see not our ugly mugs, but no, he didn't do that. So I don't know. Carry on with whatever else we're supposed to be doing.
Chris wants to know. Next topic. Why do we got to use the Traxxas TQ radio in the Slash class? It reminds me of RC in the 80s when you had to follow the car around because there was a wire attached between radio and car. Well, I feel like you're exaggerating a little bit here, Chris, because it is a 2.4 gigahertz radio. But the whole point of using the Traxxas radio is, yes, we understand now it's a whole other radio you have to carry, and yes, it's not that great of a
But
radio.
it's the one that comes with the damn
But it's
car,
the one that
so-
comes with it. So now the
Oh,
point
so hard.
the point of this class is specifically to get new racers into the hobby, and that's a lot more appealing when father and son or mother and daughter or whatever combination we may see want to come to the track to race their 2-wheel drive Slash, and they get on the stand and they don't see $400, $300, $1,000
$500,
radios.
$600, $700.
And so now it's not intimidating to see these fancy radios and get intimidated by that factor. So now they can just go on the stand, see they have the same equipment that everyone else in this class has. So now it's not like, well, I'll never be that fast because I don't have this. It'll just be,
'Cause I don't
I'll
have
never be that fast
$700.
because, well, hopefully they never say I'll never be that fast. That kind of, sorry I said that, but it's try to keep the playing field level in the grand scheme of things and keep the budget low.
Fortunately, the radio is really bad, but you get used to it.
Yeah, you do. I learned that racing Sean Duffy's series, racing the stock Slash in his series. It's like,
I got used to it the
Yeah.
Slash Enduro at Hoosier.
yeah, it's a blast.
trying to
It's
think-
like so bad it's fun.
Like it's literally the worst radio you'll ever use.
Yeah, well,
And
Braden
props to Braden
Dommel
Dommel.
worships them.
Props to him. I don't know how he
I don't know.
Does
have
Braden
have you
really
used
still
a
use
mini
one?
Z
Yeah, he
radio
has one
yet?
for each car.
He has a radio for every car.
Oh, you mean he doesn't have the
He carries a
TQI? He can
bazillion
put it on his
radios.
phone.
Nope, he's
He doesn't have the Bluetooth
Millennium
module.
system through everything. He is 100% Traxxas
Like,
equipment.
it's the most disgustingly horrid, ergonomically created radio I've ever felt in my life.
I swear
my
the
hand
grip
hurt
is the
after
same
5
as.
minutes.
I swear the grip part of it is still the same as when I had my Rustler. I'm pretty sure the ergonomics are exactly the same. It just looks different.
Besides the ergonomics, going back to your guys' class, do you feel like somebody, if they were to use their Sanwa or Futaba, would have that much more of an advantage?
Yes.
I
Yes.
honestly think you would because you can you have all these adjustments in the world you can make with
Yeah.
endpoint, exponential, travel, etc. So
Everything
speed,
curve. Yeah.
every
everything.
curve. You can do so much with it. And then I think that
And the
with
fact
the
that
proper
you can
radio,
just
it steers
feel
faster,
it.
and you can feel
You
it
can
better, adjust
feel
the
it.
trigger. So if we just throw everyone on a level playing field, then those that have no idea how
Yeah, I think the
what
radio
all
is a big one.
what all everyone's running and what all some of how expensive this class can get, or I mean any class with anything.
I mean, I guess that's the whole topic for discussion is box stock classes just in general. What are they and what rules and what all that jazz. Like how
Box stock.
I mean,
I mean, we added the rule. I didn't post it publicly yet, but some of the guys are asking, like guys that have ran short course or still run short course. They said, well, can we put spacers like hub spacers on our slashes, so then we can run the
the
short
same
course wheels and
offset all
tires
the
we
way
already
around,
have.
right? Because slashes are different front and back.
And if you think about geometry, there really shouldn't be any difference with steering geometry or suspension geometry by putting.
I mean,
that
yeah,
4
it's
millimeter
whether the
spacer on
offset
it.
is built into the wheel or you
right.
put spacers, right?
And I told them, I said, as long as the body stays under, or as long as the tires stay under the body.
And I think Proline actually makes arms that are supposed to be a little bit longer so that you can use
Well, see, that could change the
things
suspension
all the way
geometry
around.
at that
See,
point,
this is
but-
the thing. Like, people are gonna be. I mean, the concept is always
Innovation,
sound.
improvement,
Box stock.
yeah.
Let's take it out of the box and run it. That's fine. That's cute. That's dandy. Everybody can agree with that. But somebody's always, even when they're not trying to be dirty, somebody's always gonna try and find something. Like how much of a stickler are you gonna be about? Let's just say bodies. Is it gonna have to be a stock Traxxas body? How many holes are you allowed to cut into it? How many? What?
Finish.
I mean, well,
Dude,
things like
change-
this.
Yeah, I want to get in on that
Well,
right now.
I mean,
Oh,
things like
dude,
that is what
change-
I want to ask. Like, how are you going to be a stickler about what shock oil people are putting in or what pistons or people are putting in? If somebody puts on an AE springs, like, that's the thing.
So
Like,
you have to make what they do at Hoosier, which is nice, is that you can make setup changes only with what comes in the kit. Like the
okay,
spring preload.
okay, but like what?
You can move like the link up or down.
Right.
That's like all you can do pretty much. You can move the battery more forward or backwards.
Like, are you
like-
going to be allowed to run a shorty? Or are you going to people
it's
have to
only
run
stick
ice
back.
cream sandwiches? Okay, is it
Yeah.
going to have to? Is it still an open battery or is it the Traxxas battery? Is
Open
it-
battery.
Okay.
For cost, again. 'cause
Okay.
Traxxas,
Are
the ones that
people
say
allowed to
Traxxas are
snip the
expensive.
plugs and run bullets? Okay.
Well,
okay. See,
yeah, I
see,
think
these
they
are the
said
things.
bullets.
Like if I'm
No,
getting
we
into
made
this
it
class,
clear,
I'm
yeah.
gonna push this envelope. I'm telling
we
you.
have a very clear rule set with still some gray areas because I do like to see the innovation and the
Right,
the
right.
gray
Like
area
I'm telling
cheating.
you, wouldn't
you
be
know.
surprised if I, take
Yeah.
out the seals and the bearings and the training.
But anyways,
who's gonna know?
This next question. Shane said.
Shane,
Next.
we talked about this for a while. One in a group chat earlier today, and then right before we started recording live. We have definitely a lot of opinions that are probably very similar. Alex, I'll let you go because
Yeah,
after that.
Shane said, next topic. He said, let's clean up pro versus intermediate level drivers with 2 exclamation points. 2. He said, track owners should have signups for e-buggy. Then after the last round, draw a random number as to what percentage of drivers go to pro level and what remaining drivers go to intermediate. Then sort the mains. Now, this is a new idea. I've never heard of this idea to sort out who's in pro, who's in intermediate. And that is an interesting take. And I like that idea,
They could do that through seating. I would like that.
Yeah.
When they practice,
Sean,
if you have a seating round or anything like that, go ahead.
yeah, I like using Sean Duffy's example. I forget the math on it, but it's like if you're running like 92, if your pace is like 92% of what TQ for the class above you is running, then you get bumped up. Or I forget the exact math, so don't quote me on that. And sorry, Sean, if I said it wrong, but after I did announced 3 of his races this year, his math worked out very well. He didn't have to bump anyone, and we ran the math for everyone that, was TQ or whatever, made sure everyone was fitting, and always worked out and always provided good mains the whole way throughout. But so that's his theory, and I think that works. I never really thought of a theory on my own because it always gets kind of weird, especially at P&B. It's a little weird right now if you want to sit there and try to officiate.
The bigger
classes.
the event gets, the weirder it gets.
Yeah. But I'll stop on that note and let you guys, what are your opinions?
Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, I like the idea that Shane has for sure. Now doing the whole like right after seeding, no, I don't agree with that. Because say there's somebody new to your track that you've never raced with before and they break during that last practice seeding round. How do you know? You know what I mean? You put them in intermediate instead of when they should be in pro because they broke, you know what I mean?
And
Like,
it could be the same
so
thing
now
with a
it-
pro that's stuck with a bunch of beginner, I hate to put it like this, but like in a race with a bunch of slower drivers
Rivkin
too, where they're
breaks
getting
in
held
all of
up.
his qualifying and is in the D main and has to pump all the way to the
Yeah.
main and win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like seeding when seeding's at like the larger races. I do like that. It's a good it's it seeds you into your qualifier, right? And then once you get into qualifying, you can get moved around from there. You know. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I personally don't care either way if it all just stays one class. It's
I'm
just
that way.
e-buggy,
I agree with
you
that.
Yeah.
know?
I want to note Adrenaline's rule is depending on the layout, of course, but their pro and open class, if you run like whatever lap time they decide is best, if you run faster than a 22-second lap, hypothetically, in open, like 2 or 3 times, then you get bumped up to pro, or if it's the mains, you get disqualified. And that system seemed to be working pretty well for them, but what I found a flaw was they advertised it. They'd be like, oh, you ran your second 21.9. If you do it again, you're disqualified. So now that leads to the guy that's winning that just ran 2 21.9s has the opportunity to come onto the straight, realize he's a half a track ahead of second place, tap the brakes, let off the gas,
Sandbag.
and
Yeah, and
so it's weird.
now like yeah, they it's not that they advertise it; it's that they were warning people mid qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't have said anything during the qualifier. They should have just let them run their qualifier and then been like, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not faulting anyone because the system worked. Like it worked out. That the few times I was there this past year, everything worked out, and everything went good. It went great, But there's the comments are going off right now.
Now people are warming up.
Yeah, how do we police like say the A main of intermediate? It's tough.
And even if we look,
What do you
at,
guys think?
like, I'll even touch on what we said we weren't going to talk about, Taylor. I'll say it. When we were looking at P&B, when you're comparing sportsman, intermediate, and pro, and all the levels, it's like the top 10 or 15 of sportsmen could fit in the B main of intermediate. But then 16th place of sportsmen is also only a second behind 15th place of sportsmen. So it's like if I'm going to penalize these drivers, then I'm kind of an asshole for not penalizing this guy right behind him. And then it was the same way for, these top 15 of intermediate could fit in the B main of pro, and it's the same scenario where it's almost like it got so out of hand that it works, but it's not but it doesn't at the same time. It's
Kind of like
weird.
it's 6 of
It's-
one, half a dozen
it's
of
one of
the
those-
other.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things to where like say that driver does sign up for intermediate, right? If they were to win intermediate, then they should just bump up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You bump up to the next class.
yeah.
The downside is with LCRC is that since it's a year-long point series, once you sign up for intermediate, you have to stay in intermediate.
I
If
think
you want
they
a
have
shot at the
3
jacket,
win type deal. So if
Okay,
if
I didn't
it's
know
an
that.
intermediate,
so-
yeah, I believe so. I'm pretty confident if you
Maybe
win,
Kevin can
say
tell us.
novice or intermediate, and you win
Mhm.
3, you're bumped up.
Yeah, novice I could definitely see, like instant bump, because that means
Yeah.
you shouldn't be a novice.
Shane did reference LCRC. He said you still have lots of winners of intermediate buggy who would have qualified in the top half of the B main and pro.
Okay.
So, just like we're saying right now, it gets weird.
Policing this. I feel like you need to have something written out at signups, like and one of the things James kind of said, this doesn't always apply to everyone, but sponsors, like for Motorama, if you're a sponsored driver, maybe you should be in pro. If you're
I
not
don't
a
think that's a
sponsored
rule
driver,
anymore. Also,
Yeah.
but I know it used to be. But
yeah, I know that was advertised for Motorama, at least in the years past.
See,
I felt like Motorama seemed to be
Motorama worked
pretty well sorted
Yeah,
this year.
we
Like
were
I
checking
felt
it
like,
crazy.
yeah, I thought this year for Motorama it was pretty good sorted wise.
See, with the whole sponsor thing, I agree with that. When there's the separation of 3 classes or 3 like things, so like
3
intermediate,
tiers.
open, pro,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, pro is your pro guys. They're always going to be your pro guys. Open was pretty much everybody else, or if you have any sponsor at all, you're in open. Intermediate is your non-sponsored guys.
And this is where it gets. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No, that's really it. And that's how it. I don't know. Like there's some guys in, that run Sportsman
That are
at like
sponsored.
Psycho Nitro right now.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're sponsored.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think they should. I don't agree with them running
Sponsorship
Sportsman.
does not dictate
But that's just my
skill
opinion.
level. And
Well, this is where Taylor and I were talking earlier, where I feel like the verbiage of the sportsman intermediate pro it got misconstrued somewhere along the line in the past couple of years, where we lost that open. I mean, there is open e-truggy, but that's only because there's no pro e-truggy at P&B. But it feels like sportsman is not necessarily at these bigger events, at these race time events, or these the circuit events. The sportsman class seems to be like not beginner to racing.
oh, the middle's in.
But your next it's like the newer people to the big events, essentially, the people that are just started traveling.
Yeah, like if we go,
Yeah.
what are we signing up for?
Well,
Are we signing up for sportsman or intermediate? You know what?
I'm confused. And then, but intermediate, it's like your seasoned guys, your sponsor. That's where the intermediate turned into sportsman, and what is now intermediate is what should be open, and then pro is still pro, and there's a big confusion there. And
There's
it's
always
weird.
going to be. And
Gavin, how do you fix people sandbagging for the participation trophies and all that? Do you have any opinions on that?
So so there's like this is like a real thing. The guys or the people that run intermediate at like say at P&B, yeah, they might consistently be winning intermediate, but if you compare their times to into pro, they would be getting dead last in pro every event.
What if it's
So
pro
there's
A
no
main
point
though?
No, and like pretty much pro in general.
But what if it's pro
Like,
A
there's gonna
main? They're getting last in.
Yeah, well, even like in the B main, they'll be getting last. Like if
he's
you
saying
compare
in
the
general,
times.
the whole.
Yeah, I know
pro-
what he's saying, but I'm saying like, what
But
if
there's,
the
there's
scenario
always
where they're
there's
getting
always
in the A main?
people that in pro that should not be running pro, like period. Like they're barely making the A main and like sportsman. Like if you're to compare times, but the people that are winning intermediate, there's really no point in them running pro because they're not going to be really doing any racing. It's really just going to be them getting out of the way for all the other pros that are like significantly faster. So like I don't really see like I know a lot of people hate on like some people like on Facebook for running intermediate and then just like winning, but like there's no point for them to run pro because they're not gonna be able to compete like at all really, and that's kind of what is kind of
So they're
happening
just
now is that
chasing a trophy.
there's people that are really good, but they're not good enough to be at
Which
like run with other
which is
pros.
why you just have to bite the bullet and make it just one class, and you resort after every round.
And
Going
just
with
race
what
the
Gavin
gate,
said
yeah.
2 years ago, Mugen Challenge, I saw somebody that was doing just that. That was like maybe a good sportsman type driver, and they were in the pro main, not the main, but what do you want
Class.
to call it? Qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, qualifier. And I wasn't part of the conversation, but it looked like they had to talk to, and they were forced out of that class because they were kind of
They
a
were a
problem.
speed bump.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Well, and it gets weird because I was talking to some other people today, and it's like, if I'm gonna run at this event, me, my skill level, my experience, which I am intermediate driver at the end of the day. I'm a mid-main, mid-pack, intermediate driver. I'm like a CD main, intermediate guy at these bigger events. When I look to see who's all running intermediate, and I'm like, well, fuck, if there's a whole lot of guys I know that's going to beat me, I'd almost rather run pro, where I know I'm going to lose bad, but I know how fast these guys are to me, so I don't feel as bad when I lose and I don't get irritated.
Yeah,
and there's something faster to chase after, because for me, at the end of the day, I want to just get faster. So I'd rather be in the heat above me, racing the faster people, so I can learn what's going on. And I'm not saying I should be racing against Mayfield, Lutz, Bend, Chase Lemieux, etc., so forth. Like, I should have no business being on the same track as them at my skill level. But
You have to be able to speak to them first.
well, yeah, right, exactly. I'd be on the stand shaking next to him. Sorry, I hit you.
Yeah.
But
I'm joking.
it's true. But I'd almost feel more comfortable racing on the track with them than I would be in intermediate with a bunch of other fast guys that would run expert or pro or whatever you call it at other events, but then go
On a
to these
local
events, and it's like,
Yeah.
if I'm running pro, then I won't get frustrated. But that's probably just a me thing. So, take it with a grain of
I
salt.
agree to that.
That's me. I'm not speaking for anyone else besides
I
myself.
mean, we were all running intermediate at Motorama, right?
Yeah. I'm an
Except for
intermediate
Gavin,
driver,
sorry.
yeah.
And then Mike
So-
wasn't there, so.
I like what James said, about there just being one class
Yeah.
and you kind of get put where you're put.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with what they do over in like Europe and Britain and all that? Toby really filled me in on that. And
Have
last year at the opener for LCRC, I was pitted next to a guy who used to work for JQ. I can't remember his name. I'm pretty sure he's not going to listen to this podcast, so I'm sorry. But he was from Finland way and came to run, and he had a number on the side of his car, and I was asking him what the number was. They have like a ranking system. And
that's not
this, of course,
bad.
only really applies. No, I'm sorry, Davey.
No,
Go
no, carry on. Finish your sentence.
So over across the pond, they have like a ranking system. And this, of course, only really applies to people who race often. So
Right.
you'll have those like sportsmen, intermediate type drivers that come in that don't race too often to an event. But we have to have like a system. So you have like a number and you're kind of put into one open class. Also, they run less classes.
Yeah, they only
there's
run
a few
2.
things that it's hard to cross over to the States for as many classes, for as many clubs and things like that and different tracks, all that. But I'm just trying to go on the subject of running one open class, and you just get put where you get put.
Yeah.
And at least if you have a number to start with in this ranking system, you're kind of grouped within that area. So we don't have somebody at the bottom of the ranking system racing with the top of the ranking system, and vice versa. So at least you're not a speed bump or
pre-grouped, I guess.
you're not racing. Yeah.
That's not terrible
Yeah,
either.
Davey, you're familiar with this. You want to touch into it, like maybe things like that?
He only practiced overseas.
Yeah. That's really. But no, I mean, I think that would be the only. Either you suck it up and it's just nitro buggy, e-buggy, truggy, or whatever, and you resort every round and you're at where you're at. I think that's how the Nats work, right? Well, that's just how everything should work. I understand the idea. It's like, okay, this schmuck ain't gonna achieve anything as much as these pro guys are. We got to give them a reason to be here, but like maybe that's just a mentality thing that we need to change in the sport, the hobby, or whatever. That you're grouped into the where you should be. You kind of have a bump is a reward, not a tease, I guess. Like you have to focus, and I guess this is
Look at the stick, not the carrot.
Sure.
The carrot being
the open
win.
door hanging over you. Yeah, like
Look at the stick saying you won the main you were in.
Yeah. Be happy winning the main you're in because that's what's supposed to be. That's what's supposed to be important. Is winning your main. And that's end of story. But like myself included, like if you see that open door, it's like, well, if I bump, like in Motorama. I bumped into the A main for short course, yay! But I completely shit the bed in my e-buggy. I think when I was in the C main, I started in a bump position. I think I started third. Like all I have to do is stay here. All I want to do is bump. Okay, I'm not in the A. I can get over that. Blah blah. But the fact that I didn't even bump when I started in a bump position, that like ruined the whole thing for me. You know what I mean? It's like, so maybe that's a mentality. Just a mentality thing we have to get over as a whole, and that can probably be hard to do, but when I started racing, I'm sure Mike might have a similar story, and Gavin, it was all one class for us, right?
Yeah.
Gavin, when we
A
started,
lot of the times, yeah.
we started in sportsman, and then
you went up.
every other week it was me and Chuck. Like every other week, it's like, do we feel confident enough to run with the normal 2-wheel guys? And Chuck would be like, I don't know. I don't feel like being a speed bump today. So we'd get scared and stay in sportsman. And then eventually you just jumped into with the regular guys. And then every so often you'd have to pull out of the way less and less.
I remember the first time I ever ran not in sportsman. I wanted to leave early because there wasn't enough of us to run sportsman that day. And I was like 9 years old, and I was like, I kept getting yelled at because I kept getting in everybody's way.
Right. I mean, it's just.
What track was that, Gavin?
That was at McCullough's. That's right. You never.
I think it's just a tough pill to swallow. And I think at the end of the day, you just gotta suck it up at some point.
I think if we just get rid of participation trophies and
Right.
rip that Band-Aid off,
Right.
it won't be expected.
I mean, I think maybe if you can do, I don't know if you would consider participation trophies, but like you can do trophies for like winning your main. Might not be terrible. I don't know, but like not making a whole. I don't know.
Like Motorama does, but for maybe like the C main and up or something. Go ahead, Alex.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I like discussion.
I think at the larger events, it is absolutely necessary to have an intermediate and a pro. And then if we speak larger, like at PMB, when there's a fucking 1,000 entries, I also think it's necessary to have 3 skill levels of the same class. And the reason behind this is it's when we get back to the whole how do we get more people into racing. It's very unappealing for someone to want to get into racing RC. We'll say specifically an e-buggy. Okay, so I want to. This is my hypothetical situation. It's it's 2025. I'm brand new to the RC world, and I want to start racing. Oh, I'm gonna go to LCRC. I'm gonna buy this e-buggy. Okay, now I want to race it. Let's just hypothetically say LCRC only has one e-buggy class. They have sportsman Open Sportsman, and then they have e-buggy, and that's it. Blah da 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 da. I'm racing LCRC. I race a year Sportsman. I get the feel. I know how to make the car turn. This is fun. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that was a fun year. Let's go 2026. Here it comes. LCRC. I'm gonna do the same damn thing, but I'm gonna, because I did the thing in Sportsman. Now I'm gonna go to regular e-buggy, and it's all one class.
In this hypothetical, are you to the point where you're winning the novice class?
Oh, sure. We can say you're winning. Yeah. The bump is necessary. But the point is, here's where it lies, where, you know, your beginner may do the Sportsman thing as they should, and then go to, if it's an open e-buggy world where, you know, it's everyone from Mayfield to me, run an e-buggy in the same class. At this 60 class, or 100, you know, e-buggy entries or whatever, and now it's like this person that just started racing. Okay, well, like, I did good. I'm in the bottom. I'm like bottom 5 because it's my first year. But like the top 10 that are winning, they're 5 seconds faster each lap than me. Fuck, I don't know how I'm gonna get 5 seconds faster. I don't know how I'm gonna win.
Do we know how we're gonna get any faster? That's what we're discussing on this podcast.
Yeah.
I know how you don't get faster. It's staying in a lesser class.
That too.
That's
well,
my
yes,
opinion.
and I agree, but I also feel like to keep the carrot, to keep the carrot on the stick, to get people into the hobby, it's necessary to have the JV tournament, essentially, of the intermediate drivers, where, you know, you have this carrot of people that can race with you. So then once you can be on the top side, once you can be on the top of the B main and the A main, or even winning the intermediate, now you can bump. Once you get a couple years under your belt, now you can go with the rest of the people. So
I feel like that's just different mentalities of people too, though.
and that's very,
Like
yeah,
some
yeah.
people need that carrot. I'm just a different mentality. I can only speak for myself, where it's just like, if I suck, I'm just gonna tell myself do better.
No, and I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, but I try to, in this scenario, as someone that helps run a track, promote a track, and tries to get more people in our local area, I'm looking at it from a completely different angle from a lot of people, where I'm trying to figure out how to get more people into the hobby, blah, 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 or keep people at the racetrack. And that's where it comes down to, you know, if you look at your local racetrack, like in our area, R3 tracks, at the end of the day, with R3 outdoor tracks, it's the same. The top 5 is pretty much always the same. Different, the orders are different. And then the bottom 5 of the A main is pretty much the same. Again, different orders. Like, 1st through 12th is the same. It'll alternate at the final results. But then pretty much everyone below that, and this is mostly hypothetical, but it's like we see below that 12th place or 13th or 14th place spot, everyone else is like a lap or two behind. So now we see a completely different skill set of difference here. And yes, everyone knows, and these people are also saying, like, I need to get faster. But then when we get to the point where it's 100 entry for one class race, I feel like that's where it's necessary to have 2 or 3 skill levels of the same class.
So, like, could it be possible that both of these, damn it, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Both of these things could coexist. Like, have a ranking system, like Taylor says, which would be awesome, because that makes it easy for when you get to these big events. Because, yeah, probably at these, the bigger the event, the more of a need there would be to create a new class. That makes sense. And, like, literally, I just had it, and then you stopped talking, and I forgot what I was going to say. But also to be, like, this mentality thing, like, maybe it's just, we're a tough crowd. Maybe this is just a tough little hobby, and I think you just got to suck it up. Like, how did we all get here? That's what I'm asking. We all sucked it up. At some point, like me and Chuck and Gavin, at some point, we were in the Sportsman. We were winning the Sportsman. I still have the Turkey Bowl trophy on my wall when I beat Greg and Chuck and literally
Sportsman first
literally
place
it was me, Chuck, Greg, and a whole mess of like 4 slashes that literally all they were doing there was bashing into each other. So eventually,
too.
eventually, you had to suck it up
I'm gonna get it.
and
Hold on.
get into the next class. That's all. I mean, I think you just have to suck it up. Have a better mentality. You suck it up, and then maybe have the point system like that. If you do take it seriously, like maybe let's say Cash or however seriously Gavin takes all of this, then if you want to take it seriously, you have a measuring stick, because we are a sport and a hobby at the same time. So you are dealing with Mayfield gets paid to do this, and everything on down, from getting paid to do it, from getting free parts to getting a discount on parts to getting, all the way down to I'm paying for everything and I'm buying used stuff, which is a uniqueness of what we do. So like, not all of us can be in Japan right now racing with Lewis and Max and Charles and all that. No, nobody can do it. Only 20 guys in the world can do that right now. We can pay the same money and go and race and stand. Yep, I got that. I got one.
Wait, and I got this one. I won.
A groundhog race?
Nice.
I wasn't there for that one.
I have 2 of those. I don't even
But
know
yeah,
what year that is.
I think it's just a uniqueness in the nature of what we do. I mean,
2015.
we need to spread it out somehow, so I think you should be able to combine the whole ranking system so that if for people who do take it seriously, like, let's say Cash, he says he's out here trying to make this work, or I don't know how serious Gavin takes all of this, if he's trying to make it work or if he's happy just where he's at. But like, you have a ranking system so that you know how to get to the top if you want to, or if you're just a schmo, you don't have to. And then you just have to suck it up, and where you're at is where you're at, and you're in your main. You got to figure out how to win your main. Like,
Hey, Mike, before we get too far, let's hear your thoughts about, intermediate, things like that.
I mean, while you guys were talking, I was going back actually into like old Psycho Nitro Blast, like last time I was there. So they actually changed their format since I was there last. They used to actually have Sportsman, Intermediate, Open, and Pro.
Jesus.
That's how it kind of should be. Sportsman
So you
for
have
the
your
beginners.
Sportsman drivers,
Yeah.
you have your Intermediate, you had your Open, you had your Pro.
Yeah.
I kind of
Right.
like that idea, though.
Yeah. Sportsman
although
for the beginners.
it's the opposite of what I was proposing of just all open, other than a sportsman class. But go ahead, Dave.
So like, maybe you could implement this ranking system such that, maybe P and B, you have to be at this level to race at it in the first place.
No, I don't
See what
feel
I mean?
like we haven't. I don't feel like the hobby has
No.
enough of a following to do
So-
that.
I think that would look at PMB and how well it's doing because it's got 982
Right,
entries.
and that's why I think
All of a sudden we're going to turn PMB into
This invitation.
100 entries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think
And
that's
then-
why we're such a unique thing of what we do.
It's not like circle track where you have these local circle track racers and dirt track racers, but then you still have NASCAR and you still have Lucas Oil late models and World of Outlaw sprints, but everyone's doing it on the local level, but then there's these pros running it around the country. We're all doing the same damn thing at the same damn tracks between the pros to us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we gotta figure out how to make all of it work at once.
I think Mike was the last one talking.
Yeah, Mike, go back.
I mean, there's not really much to add, honestly. I don't know.
Simple answer is go
for me
faster.
personally, I'm not opposed to all one class, and I'm not opposed to splitting it. I mean, you definitely need a sportsman's class regardless.
Yeah, agreed.
Like you can't get away from that. But
I think
I mean,
sportsman
it's a-
should be defined for people that are signing up, so we don't have the people that are going from intermediate dropping down to a sportsman. Like I just define a sportsman as your newbies, people that haven't raced very long, people that haven't ever won a race, people that
Yeah.
are still learning racecraft and learning how to race with other people, things like that.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And honestly, I don't know what track it was, but I know tracks that I've been to, they always, like you said, they had the three win rule. If you win 3 times, you're out of sportsman.
Hmm.
That's definitely something
and then
easier to
you're
police on the local level.
you're running with everybody else. Yeah. Well, yeah. You cannot police that at a big event.
Yeah, you cannot
The
police
only
this at
the only
all
way to
at
police it
PNB.
at a big event.
Is to have a ranking system.
Yeah, I mean, unless you had somebody looking at times, you're like, okay, cool. Like the top 5 in sportsmen right now would be, top half of, the class above them. We move them up. It's like you need to have a boundary set though. You need to have like
But
when
you
drivers
can't.
get to this
That's
speed,
the thing.
where
You
do they get to?
can't. We're not machines. We're like, some days I can be faster, some days I'm slower, but like, I can gonna sandbag, you can just ride right on that limit.
Yeah, but I mean, you're never gonna get rid of sandbaggers, so like it's
Right. So
the people that sandbag are gonna sandbag.
so this discussion's
It's
kind of
just-
moot at that point. Like, you can't. It's a mess. But like, you know how to get out of it, you just gotta muddle through.
Taylor, I
It's
want
the
to
honor
hear.
system.
I want to hear your current thoughts.
I feel like we've been touching on them. I'm sorry.
Started it.
Like more specific, can you ask me a question? Yeah. I feel like I already shared them.
Well,
sorry.
I mean,
Were you not listening?
no, I was. I didn't know if you had anything to add on
Yeah,
after
you were
everyone
building
else
up toward it.
went on. Was all.
I think
No,
just a little.
I'm
You
sorry.
go. No,
No, you're good.
I talked over you.
There's a lot of comment action going on right now.
Well, that's good.
I think it's worth reading some.
Sure.
My
I forget
favorite,
there's a lot.
James Doherty, said there should be a class: drink 10 beers, run e-buggy main, whoever wins is world champion.
Sure.
I'm so
They
on
had
board
that
with
at,
that.
At
at
Masters,
Masters
right?
of Dirt, they had a
Fireball.
fireball
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
People
I can't do fireball,
Do
but that sounds like
take a
it'd be
shot of
great.
fireball, and then they like, I don't know. I don't even know how the thing worked. It was just hilarious to watch.
I never been, but I love the atmosphere at the Masters of Dirt when I'm watching it live.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
always
feel
seemed like a
pretty-
very fun thing to do. That seemed to totally be the race we should have been in.
Yeah, we should have been there. When they
Yeah, that
when
was
they
my
come
favorite.
back bigger and better, we'll go.
Yeah.
Going back to like Shane's comment, since you just looked at James's like only
one
giving
below-
trophies to pro level
yeah.
drivers and podiums. Honestly, the pro drivers are the ones that could care less. I'm sure about the trophies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They-
and that's the
honestly,
weird
what
thing.
matters to them
We-
the
we-
most
we-
is being able just to show their sponsors that they got first, second, or third, so they can get contingency
Yeah.
money. They don't care about the trophy.
Like
Nope.
I
Unless it's like the worlds or something, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
or
Or
nationals.
Nats, yeah.
Shane, I see what you're
Right.
saying, and I agree with you.
You
but
see the
that's where it's
trophies.
funny with the
You see the
pros,
oh, that's where those trophies
Yeah.
went.
Here, hang on.
Going to Lutz's trophy that I got from him. I'll never win the Mugen Challenge, so
Okay, so these trophies.
Oh,
I-
I forgot about this.
I won my D main at Motorama, and so I went back to Scotty at the end of it all. Because me and him are pals now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, "Hey Scotty, where's my D main intermediate buggy trophy? Because I'm me, And he's like, "Oh, well, apparently we don't have one for that, but Lutz didn't win his trophies. Do you want them?"
Yeah.
Truggy Expert TQ, Truggy Expert 4th place. And I was like, if you sign them, I want them. So that's how we got these. Circle back. Unless it says first place, the pros don't. And even at first place, they just usually raffle them off for charity.
Yeah, like Mike said, if it's Motorama,
Well, yeah, that's Motorama too compared to
the Worlds or the
Yeah.
Nats.
so. Yeah, kind of funny.
Probably could have got those plaques off of Mayfield while we were there. He was signing your cams.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that till days later.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because Mayfield's got to fly back.
Yeah, don't want to add to that shipping
So-
charge.
Yeah, if you don't know where this
So,
first
he
place
either has to
trophy
ship
went,
them
what
home
do you
or
think you're
give
gonna?
them away to somebody?
Yeah, where do you think these second, third place trophies are gonna be? Trash. They probably didn't even make it out of the building.
when I was at the Rory Nats last year, and it was slightly disrespectful, in my opinion, and they were throwing them away in the trash.
Yeah,
Yep. With that.
Yeah.
I still have mine.
and it's weird because here I am staring at my wall of
Right.
plaques for all the local races, and I'm pretty proud of it, and I like to stare at them, and it's more of a memory token. Like, yeah, I went there. Yeah, I remember that race. That's where I nudged it out with so and so, or blah blah blah, or you know. But if I've been doing this for
As long
10
as
years,
we've been alive, yeah.
as a
As a job, yeah, you probably, it's like,
then yeah, like literally today, my mom was cleaning up her basement, and she was like, "Hey, come up here," and I went up, and she's like, "Here's all your childhood trophies," and I'm like, "What?" And it's like, 5th grade basketball,
oh,
3rd
jeez.
grade soccer, Pinewood Derby, like, all your childhood trophies. She's like, "Do you want any of these?" Like, no offense, but I don't know what the fuck I'd do with them. Like, where am I gonna put them for one? How proud am I of getting 5th place out of 6 teams in the local community league basketball association
Anymore.
anymore? It's like, no, I get it. I'm like, and it made me feel kind of weird because I'm like, I was proud of these when I was 7.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that's kind of how the pros feel sometimes with
Oh, yeah. for
trophies
sure.
from races.
Mhm.
It's like, I've won this thing a million times, or like, almost like, not to talk shit or not to say anything bad, but this means nothing to me.
Firewood.
Anywho's, your opinions?
I don't know, trophy stuff like I got some up here
Yeah.
that I
Mhm.
decided to decorate since we've been doing the podcast, and I got some over there and things like
So
that.
they got
but,
out of the milk crate and ended up on the shelf.
they were always on a shelf,
Oh,
but
okay.
I put them more displayable.
They were in the living room, but now they're in the RC room.
It's none of them I won in an intermediate class. They're all open classes,
Yeah.
and like 10 scale stuff and all that. Um, like I never went to an event to be like, oh, I'm gonna win a trophy today, blah blah blah. But like the ones I have, like I'm kind of like happy I do. Like I got a little memory
There's an
thing.
attachment to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, am I would I have gone to that event still, even if they weren't giving out trophies? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I like, but the fact that I won something, it's cool. I don't know. Mike, you got to have like a decent little trophy selection.
I do. Because of the podcast stuff, I plan on like doing a thing around my window.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Um,
how
Yeah,
we,
how
we
it
do this
would-
thing.
You're gonna
and then
flex
now
on
they're
us
coming
all
out.
because you've been racing for a while.
Like, I mean, in all honesty, I only kept trophies that the races meant something to me or was like
Mhm.
some sort of accomplishment, right? So, like you said, you don't have any like intermediate trophies. I kept one from like those of my progression, right? So the last race I was at where I ran that lowest class that I won, I was like, okay, from this day forward, I'm going up to the next class. I kept that
Yeah,
just as like a thing. You
that's
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like and then like I don't know, my most memorable one.
Like, yeah, it's definitely like a memory thing. Like, they have to hold something. Like, I think I'm gonna hold on. I don't know how long I'm gonna hold on to my B main win of.
Yo.
Ooh,
Dude, that's sick.
that's a podium.
Very
That's a
convenient.
podium. That's cool.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I would.
I
Keep
don't know
that.
if you heard me.
Memorable.
I would keep
I
that.
don't know
No,
if you heard me
but-
without the headphones, dude. That's sick. What year was that?
2017.
I want to
Yeah.
see the picture.
It's we have it in the intro.
Oh,
Just us seeing that, like knowing how many people you ran up against,
One
that's
guy
an
knows what he's
accomplishment. I
doing.
feel like,
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's like
That's a
my
cool one.
most like prestigious trophy. That's the best I've ever done at an event like that. You know what I mean?
But that's also like a major event too, Mike. That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I keep that one safe. Like I didn't want like his little hairs to like break off. And stuff, so, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can put that one right on top
I
of the
like
couch
this
right now.
trophy. It feels good on my skin. I clean it and I polish
But,
it.
you know,
and I rub it.
I'll flex this one on you because you're making me run short course at the opener. But you know, winning the championship last year for WOC and 4-wheel.
I'm gonna
Nice.
go cry.
I got 2 of them from PA State champs that I put up here.
This
Oh,
one I
nice.
really want to find. but I can't
Somewhere up there.
remember where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any first place trophies.
I'm not at my
I have
house.
2
so
first
I can't
place
show
trophies.
anybody.
One for sportsman and one for a 2-wheel drive stock short course when we were still running 17.5.
I
And
remember those days.
The only first place I care about is one that is one position in front of Mike.
Are they doing
Wait, well-
trophies now that you spoke about that at the WO opener?
Yeah, top 3. All our
Yes.
races are trophy races. All our scheduled races
Yeah.
are trophy races.
You know, which kind of brings me to like my comment of like I didn't even know that you guys were doing trophies. I'm not there for that. Like I just was super pumped to run short course truck with you guys and just have a good time.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, what have you did you see the event page for the race?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So
I just had to screenshot it for some person. I was gonna call them the ID 310T, but think about that for a moment. In the discussion page, was asking how much it costs, and I'm like, I go back and it's the first paragraph, so I had to screenshot it and I replied to their comment.
yeah, isn't
of-
it funny how I put things in the Facebook page, how it's very convenient for people to see instantly as soon as they find the Facebook, but then I like some guy called today and he's like, when can I register? Like he called a phone number that doesn't exist anymore and then messaged a track. I tried to call the phone number, but it doesn't work. When can I register? Or what time do I register for the race? Which like actually is kind of a fair question because nothing says, I think on the flyer, or I don't know. I know in a Facebook post I put registrations opens at.
Oh, nice, man.
/
Oh, that's
Enduro.
cool.
Nice.
I have
Yeah.
my first place one, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll tangent
going,
on
Alex.
that.
I'm sorry.
I'll end up tangenting on that subject. Just I try really hard to make everything easy for people to see and not have questions about. But then I get a million questions about things. So point being, that's a my bad if you didn't see it was a trophy race, and that's I'm not pushing it enough or putting it in the right places because it says it on the flyer. But then if you didn't see the flyer, then I'm not pushing the flyer enough.
But I also know the track. I've been to the track.
This is true. Yeah.
I know the classes that you guys have. Like most of it was just TLDR to me.
Yeah.
So I just seen the date, and that's all I needed.
Yeah.
And you and me have just mostly
We
talked about
talked
it.
about
So
it privately.
it's probably not your fault for not pushing a flyer or being on the flyer.
Yeah,
at
and
least.
like you
It's
said,
more
you're
or
not
less
really
just
worried
me.
about trophies, so you aren't looking for the
Yeah.
things that says trophies to whoever. You're just like, yep, they're still racing. I'll text Alex.
Yeah, that's it. I need the date, and that's mostly it.
Yeah.
Like I know that it didn't conflict with some other dates for me, and it worked.
Okay. Well, thank you for the input on that because I want to make sure I'm doing the social media
I'll
thing
never
right.
stop with on
Eh?
What?
Shane
Go ahead.
Coleman.
Davey?
No, Gavin mumbled something.
Oh,
Yeah, Shane said Gary stop with the on road. I'm like, no.
He's got the center diff in.
It's not even a dip, but yeah, he's
Gary's
got
the
the belt
reason.
for it.
Gary's one of the main reasons why we're all doing on road next year. So
This
Gary's
car
the
only
only
has one
reason
diff.
why we have so many people watching us live. Otherwise, we would have 0 viewers.
that's very true, actually. Yeah.
There's only one diff in this car. The
Yeah,
front's a solid axle. The center is a gear.
there's not even a slipper in
Yeah,
the
there's
middle.
spoles in the front.
It's just go.
Mine's
go.
gonna have an 8.5 in it. That's all I know.
That's gonna be
Dude,
slow for
21.5 is
Mob.
going to be too fast for you.
there is the look of disappointment. Like, dude, no.
I'm just
Like,
following Jim
21.5
Long.
is already fast
Right?
enough.
Putting like a 4 or 5 turn.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Lonzo said.
21, not even 17.5.
Put a 4.5 in all your shit and bang off the pipes.
I have a 5.5 if you want to put it in it.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
probably need that.
I'm good with
One
that.
of us will.
I want to do pan car.
I've been trying to sell it for like a year and no one will buy it.
We
so.
are going on 3.5 hours.
I've seen that.
They're up again with 4-wheel drive.
Oh,
How did I want to see how Cash did.
oh, that's right. They're there.
Well, if there's somebody that's been here for the whole 3.5 hours, applause to you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out for anyone that touched base, said hi,
That anybody that's in the comments.
watched a
yeah.
minute.
I
People
forget
that are in the
we're-
comments right now. Comment
doing
right
this
now if
live.
you've been here for 3.5 hours. I don't know if
For
Lauren's
who
still
else
awake.
hasn't had anything better to do? Maybe they're all wrenching like Gary. They're doing an actual stuff and things.
But
You know,
Yeah,
they-
one of these days we'll implement a call in to where you can call in.
yeah, we got to figure that math out. And I got to get a PC apparently too. That's like the next step.
Yeah.
Or we got to do it off
Jared,
of one of
the
y'all's
one
computers.
You saw how much I struggled rebuilding this thing. You're not even going to buy one now.
I'm not sure if anyone else caught when you almost dropped it off the table and your
Oh,
eyes got
I
real
did
big and looked
not.
at.
Yeah, I kind of like my hand caught the front bumper and the thing almost went into my face. I hate soldering without taking all the wires off, but I had to put new battery ones on because the one was like really kinked.
That's why I don't want to do. Like, I know I'll love touring car, but doing what you're doing, I would absolutely hate that. That's why I think like
Well,
touring
like
car.
the normal person wouldn't rebuild the car if nothing's wrong with it.
No, but you look at a pipe wrong, and there's probably something wrong with the car.
Yeah, that's why I'm tearing it apart because I didn't tear it apart after my first day with it, and I slammed the wall like 3 times. So I just wanted to like double check. Also, there was like fuzz in there, so I wanted to clean it. 'Cause
I
it was really-
rebuild my off-road cars after like every race, Gavin. Does that mean I'm have something wrong with me?
No, that means you're good at maintaining your car.
I try and
Good
rebuild
job.
them after
Thank
every
you.
race because there's usually over a month between any other time I do it, and I figure, well, I might as well have a clean car.
The oil starts separating by the time I go to race again.
Yeah.
Mine's sad
Hey.
after Motorama because that I don't get too motivated when it's cold out, and there was a long
Ooh.
time from
Oh, for
February
sure.
to
Yeah,
April. So
you're in your garage too. Like I'm in my garage when I go and do that. So yeah, when it gets chilly in there, I don't want feel like walking downstairs to be cold. How are you doing?
Shane, the touring craze is great. You only know if you run the touring car.
So
Because I thought it was
Shane?
pretty boring without driving one, and then I drove one.
And it's awesome.
Shane
And
has
then I was
this sweet MSB1 Mugen 2-wheel drive buggy, all set up for carpet that he's never used.
You should sell it and get the new Mugen touring car, and then come out run touring car with us.
Where do you run touring car at, Gary?
Austin Town normally, or TR. I went to this other place in Ohio last week. That place was a lot of fun.
That's probably far for him when he's over by Harrisburg.
Yeah, it probably is.
Jared
Because
and
even
I,
Austin Town's it's like right on the border of Ohio.
Jared and I are gonna run 4.5 touring car. That's all.
Shane, I will work on your cars if you need me to. Like, I will take them home and rebuild them for you, man. Just let me know. Like, I enjoy that. So
How nice.
You guys want to see what happened to Motorama to me? I just found out this past week.
yeah, you go, then I'll go because I got things too.
Okay, this is real quick.
Is that the e-buggy?
Yeah, that's a front hinge pin.
That's off the big
Oh,
double.
I noticed that.
Wow.
Yeah, I was.
And you didn't know, did you?
Nope, I was just tearing apart my car, putting fresh oils in it for the outdoor season, and I took the front blocks off, took the front A-arms off because I was gonna clean the hinge pins and everything, make sure everything was right, and then the hinge pin, the sleeve, because Technos have the sleeve, it was all cracked and stuff, which is like kind of normal on the older sleeves. So I was like, whatever. And then like the pin wouldn't come out of the A arm without some force, and I'm like, well, this isn't normal. So those should be here Tuesday.
You didn't notice a handling difference?
Gavin, again, like I said a while ago, I'm mid-level intermediate driver. I don't notice that
The one
shit.
arm doesn't move. He's like, I can't tell. It's fine.
I don't notice that shit. I'm too busy hitting off the pipe with my own driving style.
Until you brought up the hinge arm pin, I forgot in my truggy. I think it was at Adrenaline when we were racing. I might have tweaked the D block just a little bit when I landed on top of the pipe,
Uh-huh.
and it broke one of the D block pills when I was at Motorama. I don't know when, but it had a slit in it, so
Yeah.
I had adjustable on-demand toe, and I didn't realize it until I was rebuilding it.
Which is something that you get in touring cars, right, Gavin?
But only on one side too. It wasn't. Which does explain when you're going on that midsection when it was from the going left after the drop down to
the option.
Right. Yep. And the option lane, I was experiencing because I was trying to pin it and get on it a little bit there. It was kind of
wash
washing
out,
out a little
yeah.
bit, which I think that could have been the answer there. But where I was going to go with when I was building the short course truck, I had the camber links in the front flipped on the tower. And I didn't realize it till I started cleaning it up and rebuilding it here last week that the camber links in the front were rubbing the shock spring the whole time because they were in the front and not the back where they should be. My mistake, just slight oversight when I was building it and didn't even catch it.
That happened. I do that shit like that all the time. Or put like a turnbuckle, like an offset turnbuckle. I'll put it upside down, not even realize, and I'll have one way, one the other way on the front end, and that shit happens. Do you want to get into what you were saying you wanted to talk about, Taylor?
Oh, only now.
What did I want to talk about?
You said before I said, look at this bent thing. You were like, okay, do that.
Oh,
quick.
that's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
who's buying spoked wheels?
Who's buying spoked wheels?
Now that you can again.
Oh, you got some?
No, these are
2007 Wabash.
These are good
Proline
tires.
Wabash wheels with Panther. Look, he even wrote Panther clay switches. These things feel like Tyco tires. They are that hard.
You gonna run them?
No.
I mean,
they're gonna sit here on
there's
my shelf.
two
'cause they're
damn
Goodilla
bins
tires.
of tire. I walk into his garage and it's like I see those wheels. I know what those are.
You know you have Goodilla tires if they say the year on them.
2007.
Look at this tape.
Oh, nice. I got it.
Yeah, Ed's always got some weird tires.
Well, back in 2007, Panther tires were actually
back
a
before
thing.
you were born, son.
Yeah.
I was alive in 2007.
Barely.
I was like 3.
Yeah, you couldn't even feed yourself.
Shut up.
Oh, I want to go downstairs and see if there's a set of inside jobs in there. It's for like 10 minutes, I think.
I
That
bet
was the
Lauren
tire.
has them. Lauren has a whole bunch of old Goodilla tires.
I have a pair of 2-wheel drive front M4 primes. I'll start the bid at $20.
I have a set too. I got a bunch of sets of Proline primes. I got like
I got-
3
I got a
sets.
whole bunch
Are
of
they the good
M4
Are they the
primes.
good ones or are they the later batches?
They're pre-Horizon.
Oh.
Them are worth $20.
Those are the ones you want.
And then Horizon started making them like a month after they took over.
Yeah, they're like, let's take
I
this
have some.
beautiful thing that works in a lot of places and never make it again.
completely ruined.
I got them for
Well-
2-wheel drive, stadium truck, short course truck, because that's
To
what
be
I ran
fair-
at making tracks.
Yeah.
To be fair, M4
Yeah.
primes don't really work anywhere anymore. Like
Cautious.
M4 is like a It's like a dead compound for indoor now.
They work at Josh's when it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Well,
after
they
it
work great
rains
at Big
out
Dogs.
and
Yeah, and Big Dogs. They work for. You can really stomp the competition at Big Dogs because everyone's on
I have
the raw speed slicks.
M4 Truggy hole shots as well.
Oh,
In
wow.
my arsenal. I like those. So, say like a super wet, soupy
Yeah.
track, things like that.
When you really need to just. That's where hole shots are funny because
Q3
it
and
feels like they
LCRs.
like peel the top layer of mud essentially, while still biting the layer underneath.
I have about 8 sets of M4 electrons for buggy.
That you can't even run.
No, some of them are still brand new.
Oh, where's it? I have these
Ions?
stadium truck.
Stadium Truck
Primes.
Electrons.
Those are electrons.
Okay.
Oh yeah, electrons. Duh.
It's definitely our primes.
They're brand new.
When the hell are you ever having a Stadium Truck?
Yeah, I was kind of
I
curious
gonna run
myself.
stadium truck at Josh's last year, and then I just never did.
I also have a set of buckshots with no writing on them.
Ooh.
Were they like
The
the
Roto
Production ones,
buckshots.
Yeah. Same thing with the S compounds. I have a couple like prototype S compound tires.
Well, does anyone have
Yeah.
anything to add to anything?
No. What this is 3.5 hours now.
On the
3 hours,
On the inside
34
of
minutes,
4.
50 seconds.
going on 4 hours.
So we'd like to thank everybody who stuck with us this long. You could have been anywhere in the world doing anything else, but you decided to just waste your Saturday night with us, and we thank you for it.
I want to pitch a shout out to all the people, all the local people we know at P&B, Cash Bieri, and his dad Chris, Tom Kaufman, Ezra, however you say your last name, bro.
or
Bradley
Gavin.
Lingerman's down there, Landon Welder's down there, Ethan Mechanic, Chicky,
Gavin Gibbler,
Gavin Gibbler,
Gavin,
Van,
Dennis Brew,
Lutz.
Rob Emoji.
Yes. Jordan,
Kyle
Toucan.
Baker,
Oh yeah.
Baker, and Zach Arsenal.
There's so many people
Did
down
you already
there.
say Cash and
Yes.
Chris?
He said it twice.
Sorry if
DJ.
we're forgetting your name. Who else, Gavin?
Yeah.
DJ, Joey Burdon, BJ.
That's for
Give a
you.
shout out
He's not my
to
bro.
Ryan Lutz, Ryan Mayfield, who will listen to this later.
Oh, wouldn't that be magical? I hope.
Drake.
I hope Lefty gets the chance. So.
Oh, because
you
he's
don't
there.
know.
He's
no,
there.
Lefty shouted out the podcast on
What?
the live stream. Taylor, would you like to? Because this was all you're doing.
When did he go live?
You'll have to show Davie after this.
He's gonna have to.
'Cause I clipped it.
He's doing the commentating for Elite.
Right, he's there. He wasn't supposed to be,
And
but
so
he's there now.
during the race, Taylor commented from the podcast Facebook page, like it's like, "Oh, you guys are doing great," and then Lefty was like, "Hey, there's Slowest Fast RC. I really like your reels. You guys are killing it. Everyone go check out
We
Slowest
have
Fast
reels?
RC podcast." Oh yeah, we have reels now.
Davey's so out of touch with
yeah,
everything.
I am,
on the
because
internet.
I actually was thinking about this today. I think I'm below 500 with however many episodes we have. I think I'm below 500
Well, this
for
is
appearances.
9, I think.
So I'm practically an occasional guest at this
The next
point,
2
so
hours of Davey's attendance at my house, I gotta.
it's gonna
speed
be
him up
updating
on.
me on
yeah.
the on
Here's
Alex's podcast.
Here's the camper and here's the podcast.
Yes. Oh, are we gonna go? Okay, we're gonna go.
Yeah. Anyways, good luck.
All right,
everyone at
I'm gonna
PNB.
go. I'm tired.
Yeah, we're working on the same
Me
thing.
too. We're peacing out here soon, so thanks for coming, Gavin.
Gavin, last comment. You want to thank
Bye.
anyone? Shout
Bye,
out. Okay,
Gavin.
bye, Gavin.
It's my X button. That's my
Oh.
comment.
Do you want to shout anyone out or anything for you?
Hey, where'd it
Yeah.
go?
Okay.
Wait, am I still here?
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
no, you're
you
not.
are.
What?
Permanently, you're locked in permanent.
You're off the record
I don't know
now.
what
Who
happened.
do you want to talk shit on?
Promotion doesn't make on-road tires. Oh. What's the hot tire at TR
I
for a
keep
touring
thinking he's
car?
froze, but then he's just staying still. If we stay quiet,
If
I
he
wanna
starts
say-
taking off his clothes, we gotta shut this off.
Everybody buy an on-road car for next year.
Deal.
I'll allow that.
Okay.
What's the tire?
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it's all just one tire.
And what is that? What have you established? Gravity, Jayco,
Gravity.
JC.
It's a spec,
Okay.
it's a spec tire, Gravity RC.
Oh, it's not a true.
You buy them. You don't even have to glue them up. You just sauce them and you run them.
Fine with me.
They
That's
come
fine with
pre-made.
me. I'm down.
Yeah, you just put. You can only run one sauce too.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere. Yeah, you can only run one sauce.
There's absolutely zero tire game, and that's why I like it so much.
The less I
Well,
have to
until
fuck
you
with.
find out that 3 runs is the sweet spot or something, and then you're throwing them away. So
They actually last a long time.
Okay.
it's only your first season. Goodbye. Get out of here.
Goodbye, Gab.
Okay, good.
Taylor, Mike, any last comments?
Now that we can talk shit on that guy, damn, I'm glad he's gone.
Following up with PMB, Shane's been paying attention. Shout out to Shane. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
He's
seriously.
got nothing
listening.
better
Thank
to
you
do
for letting
tonight.
us waste your time.
Yeah.
Curry, Term, Mike Ream, Jason Treffer, David Harvey. They're
Curry.
all racing at PMB and locals too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely shout out all you guys, especially Adam Curry. I'm sorry we weren't there to get our second yearly Adam Curry sighting. Hopefully we can get a second one at LCRC at some point this year. Mike?
Ready to tap out. He's done.
He's been tapped out since
Yep.
9:30.
I've been watching the yawns, Mike.
I'm tired.
He's going to hop on Rocket League right after this.
Yeah, and be like second wind. Right on.
No, I might go to Netflix, but definitely gonna chill and go to bed.
He's going to pull his horn.
I mean, well, I think we did okay for our first live.
Yeah, the
thing
first
ever.
45 minutes was weird. But then, well, it was 26
I mean,
minutes.
obviously, everything. I mean, I guess when he left, everything gets better. Like,
Yeah. No, I need to upgrade.
it's way more.
I need to get rid of the
responsive.
laptop and go to a regular PC. And like Mike said, I need a
Yes.
graphics card. So then,
Road trip to Microsoft.
yeah. And so that needs to happen. Sorry for the first little bit because it was weird till we figured it out, and then I melted down. So even after Mike figured it out, I was still melting down,
And
and Davey
just-
and I were playing catch.
And just imagine, like when Uncle Mike said, we're going 3.5 hours now, just ourselves. Imagine when people.
Yeah. Now we're ready to take calls.
Yeah. Like, forget about it.
All right.
Time goes by fast when we do these to me.
It
at
does.
least,
It
'cause,
really
I don't
does.
know.
Yeah.
It
Like,
does.
I just like talking things that we love to do with friends. Like it. That's why I love doing these podcasts. To me, like I
Good
feel
night,
so
Shane.
lucky to do it. Yeah.
Shane
I mean,
said good
the
night.
same thing happens when we're at a race, dude. Before you know it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
isn't
like,
that-
holy shit?
Isn't
Yeah.
that what they say? This is called bench racing? Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
And an RC, isn't that the term, bench racing?
What was it? The race you did you stay with me at all the races, Alex? I can't remember. for
At the races
LCRC?
I can. Well, no, I didn't at a cancer race 'cause we got the Airbnb. But
Okay.
a
yep.
Halloween race,
So
we stayed together.
in Mugen, right?
I didn't come to Mugen.
Did you?
I couldn't come to Mugen.
Oh.
That's where I
So
broke your heart and Davey's heart.
That's right. So Halloween
Oh,
race.
Muggin comes before.
Do you remember like we drove back to the hotel and we talked, all day. We sat next to each other, Halloween race. And we drove
stayed
back
after
to the
and talked
hotel.
there at the.
And
at the
we're
race, at
still
the
just
hotel.
bullshit and RC racing, everything else.
It's the greatest thing
you
ever.
know.
I can't get. We can't
And
get enough
we
of it.
we stopped. I think we just got something to eat at like Sheets or something
Yeah.
on the way back. And then we're at the hotel, still talking RC cars, everything else, till like just like Mike said, probably 2 a.m. And then you and I think both like to agree we like to get there early. Probably got up at 6:30 the next day. Woke up, got around, straight back to talking to RC
Yeah.
cars. Stopped, grab coffee and donuts on the way, and
Couldn't
we're
wait to get
both
back to
pumped.
talk RC cars.
Driving. Yep. Oh, dude, that was a good time.
This is the greatest
Looking
thing
forward to
ever.
it again. Yep.
Weird. But. All right.
Pull the band-aid off.
I think it's
Just pull
reckon.
the band-aid
I
off.
think
Yeah.
I reckon it's time.
Yep.
thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate you all. Shane says 19 more sleeps to LCRC for him. For
6 for me.
Yeah, for Taylor it's 3 sleeps. For me it's 1 shower. For Davie it's no
Prayer.
haircuts. For Mike it's... Well, Mike, what is it for you?
I'll be there Friday.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you, ACS, for supporting us. Thank you, all the followers, likers, and listeners, and commenters now. We can say that.
Oh, God.
That caught us. Good
Shit
luck to everyone at
talkers.
PNB. Can't wait to see everyone at WO, LCRC, 412, everywhere after,
Tim's,
before, and in between.
whatever,
So,
yeah. And
remember, keep it between the pipes.
on its wheels.
And Taylor?
Oh, Gavin's gone.
I'll say if she's got an Adam's apple, don't go past second base.
True, but...
Also...
Slow is fast.
Hey!
Slow is fast.
Good night, everyone.